Welcome into another American River College Athletics broadcast brought to you by Stones Radio Networks. Today we have the ARC men's baseball team taking on West Valley. And now with the play-by-play, I give you Mark the Phantom Lowe.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Beaver Field for the third game of the first series of the season. This one between American River College and the West Valley Vikings. As that guy before me just mentioned, this is the opening series in the set against West Valley. West Valley won the first game on Friday. That was 19-6, and the two teams journeyed down to Saratoga to play game two. And the Beavers made it close. They came back to tie it, sent it to extra innings, but in the end it was an 11-inning win for West Valley, a 3-2 victory. They only had 4 hits in the game. The Beavers only had 2, so it was a well-pitched game on both sides. And today, Tyler Moore will be the pitcher for the American River College Beavers, the freshman, a 6-footer out of Del Campo. He is on the mound. He'll be throwing to Dylan Herfurth, the catcher. As far as West Valley is concerned, the first 3 hitters they're going to send up here in the top of the first, Andrew Wilford, James Bowes, and Ryan Lourdier. Beavers trying to get their first win of the season, and Tyler Moore out on the mound trying to achieve that. As far as the lineup for the Vikings, they're going to follow the first 3 with the cleanup man, Jaden Mazzaforo, the catcher, then Ryan Choi, the left fielder, Eric Murchison, who was the DH and also the pitcher in the game today for West Valley. He bats 6th. He had a home run on Friday. Tristan Silvera, the game-winning RBI in the game on Saturday. He bats 7th, the first baseman. The right fielder is Andre Butler hitting 8th. Then the 9th batter is Weston Scafoni, the second baseman, 1 for 5 and 3 runs scored in the series so far. Beavers get this one out of the way, and then on Thursday they are back here at Beaver Field to take on the Shasta College Knights. We will be here for that one, Stones McCoy and myself. By the way, Mark Phantom Lowe here. Stones McCoy, my producer, engineer, and cameraman. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. He is very proud of his cameras today. He has reworked the entire stadium to reflect his cameras, and he's got them exploring every nook and cranny out there. And hopefully it'll bring you the action from today's activity. Hopefully, if we may be a little biased, a Beaver victory, if we may say that. I think we can. I think we can say that. The umpires, I don't know their names, but they seem like fine fellows. When we talked to them upstairs, we did tell them they will be recorded, and everything they do will be for posterity on the American River College YouTube, the Athletics YouTube. Here's Tyler Moore's first pitch. Wilford shows bunt, pulls it back. It's a ball too high, 1-0. So I think they were a little cowed by that. I think they're going to be on their best behavior. Wilford 1 for 5. He scored 4 runs in the series. Most of that damage, of course, coming on Friday. Here's the 1-0. Popped up right side. Willie Tatum gives chase over by the dugout area, but I think that's going to be out of play. And it is just barely out of play, about 10 feet outside the grasp of Mr. Willie Tatum. So the 1-1 count on Wilford to start. James Bowes on deck, then Ryan Lourdier. Tatum at first. Julian Blackwell's playing second. Darren Eels at short. And Anthony Packard, the inner defense for the Beavers today, will hit the outfielders after this pitch to Wilford. 1-1 coming. It's a chop foul down the first base line again, 1-2. Christian Ristori is out in left field. Dominic Ott in center. Jonas Dias in right. As we mentioned, Dylan Herfurth behind the plate. And Tyler Moore, the 6-foot freshman from Del Campo, on the mound. Wilford is out of Pioneer High School. Next pitch is down low for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Wilford. James Bowes to follow. Just getting started here from Beaver Field on a crisp, I'll call it crisp, which is what you say when you don't want to say chilly. 2-2 pitch coming from Moore. It's popped out of play again to the right by Wilford. Beavers came out with a real good pitching performance by a couple of pitchers on Saturday, holding the Vikings to 4 hits when they had many more than that on Friday in the 19-6 win here at Beaver Field. Here's the 2-2 from Moore, who works out of the stretch. Breaking ball just misses outside. Slider perhaps. 3-2 on Wilford, who looks down at his third base coach on a 3-2 count, which, I guess you're getting more moral support, so I can understand that. From the stretch, here's Moore's 3-2 pitch. It's inside and low, ball 4. So the same thing that really hampered the Beavers on Friday, which is the base on balls, starts the game out, and Moore was ahead 1-2 on Wilford. And he loses him to the inside fastball. And here is James Bowes, who's 3 for 9 with 3 runs scored, 3 RBI. in the series. Now, we saw on Friday, the first game of the series, that West Valley likes to put the ball down. They'll drop a bunt. Good lead at first base by Wilford. Throw over there by Moore. Wilford leading off first. Packard in at third for the possible bunt by Bose. Moore takes a lot of time out there, and then he finally steps off. Looks like 10 base on ball. It'll make that 11 walks and 1 hit batter for the Beavers pitchers on Friday, so 12 free base runners. Pushing the lead out a little bit is Wilford. Here's the pitch. Shows bunt, and it is a call strike on the outside corner. Throw to first base is too late to get Wilford, but Moore comes through with the strike as Bose pulled the bat back. It's 1 ball, 1 strike on James Bose. Out of Lee High School in San Jose. James is a freshman, 6-footer. Wilford looks like he wants to take off. Here's the pitch, and there he goes. That's taken for a ball. The throw to second base is on the wrong side, and he slides in head first as the ball gets away. Goes out into center field, backed up by Dominic Ott. So a stolen base by Wilford, and he is at second base. The pitch, I believe, was called a ball. Looked pretty respectable. No, it is called a strike. So we thought it was 1-1, but it's 0-2. With Wilford now out at second base. Blackwell kind of bluffing over to keep him close. Ryan Lordier is on deck. 0-2 coming inside and might have hit him, and I think it did. So that sailed in behind Bose. Got him on the helmet, I believe. He doesn't seem any the worse for wear, so he'll go down to first base. So had a 0-2 on him, but couldn't. Trying to get one inside, but too far inside, and Bose is down at first base. First and second, nobody out, and here's Ryan Lordier. 4 for 11 in the 2 games, all 4 hits on Friday. He has driven in 5 runs, 3 of them on Friday and 2 of them in the game on Saturday. Again, Anthony Packard playing close at third. Willie Tatum ahead of the base path over at first base, looking to perhaps they'll lay one down with Jaden Mazzaferro on deck. Here's the pitch. Shows bunt, takes a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 on Ryan Lordier out of Cappuccino High School in San Bruno. 5'9", he's just a freshman. Plays third base for the Vikings. Trying to go 3-0 in their first series of the season. Beavers trying to prohibit that. Here's the 0-1. It's chopped down to third base. Packard on the short hop's going to get it, go back and step on third. Good play by Anthony Packard. Came up there a little bit harder hit. He might have been able to turn 2, but he's going to take the out at third. Bose moves to second. Lordier reaches on the fielder's choice, but good play by Packard. 1 out, and here is Jaden Mazzaferro, the catcher.
Number 1, catcher Jaden Mazzaferro.
Jaden, a sophomore out of Los Gatos, is 1 for 7, and with a couple of runs batted in the series so far. Up there from the left side against the right-hander, Tyler Moore. Moore studies the signs from Herforth. Looks back at second base. He's going to turn around. Probably the slowest pivot I've ever seen to a guy that thought he was going to. I think the bluff was on anyway, but he took a very slow pivot there. And the runner is back safely. Moore's fastball, good-looking pitch on the outside corner, call strike 1. He's shown a little bit of velocity, and the problem so far for Tyler, he had Bose 0-2 and then threw one inside and hit him and lost him. But he got the grounder from Lordier. Packer making a good play at third to get the force. And an 0-1 count now on Mazzaferro. That one is fouled back to the screen. Makes it 0-2 on Jaden Mazzaferro. Stones McCoy upset because the foul ball was too close to his camera, which is rather prominently displayed up there. I think you went out and bought yourself a new one. That's a big camera right there. I don't see how you could miss that thing, to be honest with you. I guess you're getting the big bucks from somebody. 0-2 now on Mazzaferro. 1 out, 2 on here in the first. Tyler Moore delivers a breaking ball. Nice looking pitch, fell back to the screen, nowhere near Stones' camera, but a good looking pitch by Moore, and Mazzaferro fought that one off. Ryan Choi on deck, hitting the number 5 spot, the left fielder, and Dylan Herforth's going to go out and talk to Tyler Moore. Probably to tell him, hey, that was a pretty cool looking pitch you got there. That was a nice one. You want to throw that one again. Coach J, Doug Jumalet over there, just kind of kicking at dirt because that's what you do if you're a manager. And if you don't have any dirt, you just kick at something and make it look like it was dirt. Just barely missed getting that first win of the season on Saturday with that 11-inning loss. Mazzaferro settles in. Here's Moore coming set. Looks back at the runner at second. That's Bose. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss off-speed pitch. Good job by Tyler Moore on Mazzaferro. 2 outs, and that brings up Ryan Choi, the left fielder. Ryan 1 for 8 in the 2 games so far, and he has scored 2 runs.
For 21 left fielder Ryan Choi.
Choi out of Cappuccino High School as well in San Bruno. He is another freshman. Wide open stance from the right side against the right-hander Tyler Moore, who's trying to pitch around a walk and a hit batter. He got the fielder's choice and the strikeout. Comes with a fastball to Choi, just a little bit too high. 1 ball and no strikes on Choi. Bose with a lot of room out at second base as Blackwell kind of shadowing a little bit over there, but Eels is in the hole at shortstop. 1-0 pitch coming from Moore. Breaking ball in there, call strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tyler seems to have found a little bit of his control as the inning has progressed here. He had leadoff hitter Wilford at 1-2, lost him to the base on balls, and then hit Bose. There's another pitch high for a ball, 2-1. Pitching coach Stones McCoy says he's got to complete that. Letting it go a little bit too soon. He's got to come all the way through with that. And, I mean, come on. You know Stones knows what he's talking about. If you've been following Stones Radio Networks, you know he's an aspiring pitcher. 2-1 pitch coming. That's down in the dirt, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Murchison on deck. The pitcher, DH, and Murchison with the home run on Friday, so a lot of pop in that bat. It's just like on Friday. The Dogs have started to come to the game. This guy's got a front row seat down there. 3-1. Bose leads from second. And they're going to, Blackwell kind of sneaks in behind him. But again, we got to get Tyler working with an acting coach or something. Get a little bit more commitment on that pivot. Lordier's down at first base. Willie Tatum playing behind him with the runner at second. Three 3-1 coming up to Choi. That's right down the middle, call strike 2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2 on, 2 outs, top of the first. 4 runs for the Vikings in the top of the first on Friday, so it would be nice for Coach Jay and the guys to put them down with a big goose egg here. Here's the 3-2. That is down low, ball 4. Second walk of the inning, third free pass, loads the bases as Bose goes to third. Lordier now at second. Choi at first, and here's Eric Murchison, who had the home run on Friday. He's 2 for 6 in the series with a home run. He's driven in 2 and scored 2. "6'2" sophomore out of Canada. I believe Ontario, Canada, if I remember correctly. Facing Moore from the stretch. Fastball inside corner. Nice pitch, nice location. 0-1 on Eric Murchison. The Vikings not making any friends in my mind by wearing their Houston Astro colored jerseys and just slapping real baseball fans in the face. Hey, no offense, West Valley, but I know you got to play the colors you got. I know that, but 0-1 pitch to Murchison. Same place, same call. 0-2 to Eric Murchison, and Tyler Moore's found that spot on the last 2 pitches and He is quickly ahead of Murchison 0-2. Dylan Herfurth flashes the signs. The bases are loaded. 2 outs. Here's the 0-2. That is in the dirt. Nice block by Herfurth. And it'll go to 1-2. We bring you news from the world of sports. Demeco Ryans makes his way back to the Texans. The Niners lose their DC. He becomes the HC of the Texans. And I believe I saw something about Sean Payton ending up in Denver with the Broncos. So we got football coaches. But right now we've got Coach Jay looking for his first win. 1-2 pitch coming to Murchison. That's line down the right field line. Curving foul. Fortunate for the Beavers on that one. Murchison got one inside and turned on it that time, so Tyler didn't get it quite as far inside, I think, as he wanted to. But fortunately for the Beavers and their fans and the Dogs, it was a hooking foul. So it's still 1-2 on Murchison. Tristan Silvera, the first baseman, to follow, hitting in the number 7 spot for West Valley today. Lord Deere, Bose, and Choi on the bases. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed. Outside fastball. He got him on strike. So Tyler Moore coming back and getting it done, pitching around 2 walks and a hit batter. We go to the bottom of the first. It's West Valley nothing, and the Beavers coming to bat.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get a great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kind of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food.
Oh, I love baking. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed a job. Personally, the most rewarding part about eating it. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, yes, not only people, foodies, and people eating it, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it, they can see it.
Now back to the Phantom right here on Stones Radio Networks.
Bottom of the first, no scores so far. But first, before we even go to the bottom of the first, how about that Grateful Bread, huh? Thanks for being a sponsor of American River College Athletics. You're watching American River College Athletics on YouTube, presented by the Stones Radio Network. I'm Mark the Phantom Lowe. That's Stones McCoy. That was Grateful Bread. And this is the bottom of the first. Eric Murchison, who just struck out as a batter in the top of the first, is on the mound for the Vikings. So he has a little bit of extra oomph out there. He'll face Julian Blackwell, Darren Eels, and Dominic Ott, the first 3 for the Beavers here. In the bottom of the first, Blackwell 1 for 5 on Friday. Did not play in Saturday's game. He has a double to his credit. Wearing number 8 out of Eastside High in Antelope Valley. Here's the first pitch from Murchison. It is inside for a ball, 1-0. Blackwell, Eels, and Ott, the first 3. That's a fastball. That misses outside. 2-0 Jaden Mazzaferro behind the plate for West Valley in this one. That one's chopped out to shortstop. Bose has it. He take his time across the diamond, and he's got him by a step. As first baseman Tristan Silvera had to relocate the bag, he had his foot off of it when he received the throw, but was able to step on it and force out Julian Blackwell for the first out of the inning, which brings up Darren Eels, the shortstop. Darren 0 for 4 on Friday, had a hit on Saturday, so he is 1 for 8. Freshman shortstop out of Bear Creek. He's followed by Dominic Ott here in the bottom of the first. He swings at that one and pops it foul over into the close to the parking structure, over the very tree-laden area there, but separates us from the parking structure. 0-1 on Darren. That one's inside. That one hit Darren Eel, so he will go down to first base. So 1 1/3 innings played, or almost, well, let's see. Yeah, that's right. I'll say 1 1/3. And 2 hit batters already as Eels goes down to first base, and Dominic Ott comes to the plate. Dominic, 2 for 8 so far in this series. 3 runs batted in. Had a 2-run home run on Friday. He'll be followed by Jonas Dias, the cleanup hitter for the Beavers today. So Eels is over at first base. Pretty conservative lead over there as Murchison looks over. Takes his time. Here's the pitch. Slider a little bit high, ball 1. First base, Tristan Silvera. Weston Scafoni is at second. James Bowes at short, and Ryan Lourdier at third. Ryan Choi's out in left. Andrew Wilford in center, and Andre Butler is in right. Throw over to first base, gets away a little bit from Silvera, but he goes and retrieves it. As mentioned behind the plate, Jaden Mazzaferro and Eric Murchison is on the hill for West Valley. Ott out of Wood Creek, a sophomore, 5'10", playing center field for the Beavers. Here's Murchison's pitch. That one is right down the middle for a strike, 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 out, runner at first base, the hit batter, the Darren Eels. After Jonas Dias sitting in the 5th spot, Jake Morrell, the designated hitter for the Beavers. Ott swings and fouls that one back to the screen. Rest of the lineup, number 6, Willie Tatum, the first baseman. Then Christian Ristori, the left fielder. Anthony Packard at third base, hits 8th. And batting 9th, Dylan Herford, the catcher. That is your lineup for the Beavers, trying to get that first win of the 2023 campaign. Eels with a short lead over at first base. Ott waits the 1-2. Pops it up right side. Coming after it is Silvera and the catcher Mazzaferro. Mazzaferro reaches over and can't get it as it is right past the on-deck circle by the dugout for West Valley. Just no man's land over there. He couldn't get close enough to reach out and get it. So a break for Dominic Ott. He has another chance. And it's still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dominic did not get a good cut at that one, so I feel he is probably feeling pretty lucky he gets another chance. One ball, 2 strikes. Eels pushes it a little bit more, maybe another half step over at first base. Silvera holding him on over there. Murchison checks it out. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball, and Ott is down on strikes. So 2 outs here in the first, and that'll bring up Jonas Dias, who's looking for his first hit of the season. Jonas out of Folsom, a 6'2" freshman, playing right field. Steps up here with a runner at first and 2 outs. So I think we're going to have to start making a chart of what breed of dogs we see out here, you know. So, I mean, they're just the little ones. Now I got a little one over here, and I don't know what happened to our guy in front. I think he took a break, if you know what I'm saying. There goes the runner. The pitch is down low, and the throw, he's not going to make a throw as it slips out of the hands of Mazzaferro. It looked like Eels would probably have that one stolen anyway, but he gets credit for the stolen base. He puts himself in scoring position. Jonas Dias checks with the umpire. I believe that was a ball. So it's 1-0 on Dias. Yes, it is. Scoreboard is on. It's hard to read the scoreboard in the daytime here at Beaver Field. I'll just say that. I don't think it's me. Here's the pitch. Dias chops one out slowly towards short, cut off by the third baseman, throws over to first, and he got him. That was Lourdier with a nice-looking play. Retires Diaz 5-3. So we go to the top of the second, and West Valley nothing, AR nothing.
Oh, I love baking. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed a job. personally, it was the most rewarding part about eating it. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, yes, not only people, foodies, and people eating, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it, they can see it.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
Now back to the booth right here on Stones Radio Networks.
Tristan Silvera, Andre Butler, and Weston Scafoni, 7, 8, and 9 in the Vikings order, will be the first three batters to face Tyler Moore in the top of the second. No score so far. Moore with a couple walks and hit batter in the first, but he got a couple strikeouts as well to get out of it. His first pitch is on the inside corner, a strike to Silvera, who's 2 for 7 with a run batted in. That run was the third run of the game on Saturday that gave the Vikings the 3-2 win. 6-foot freshman out of Del Campo. Moore delivers a fastball, misses a little bit outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Del Campo, the Cougars, I believe. That's right. I'm a mascot guy. I just got to say that. I don't know if it was one of the many high schools that Stones McCoy attended or if he just knows that. It was. I thought so. 1-1 pitch inside. Check swing. But Silvera did not go around, so it's 2 balls and 1 strike. A lot of high schools out in that area. And then you got rid of, there used to be La Sierra as well, but La Sierra's not there anymore. That one is down low for a ball, 3-1. El Camino's out there. San Juan's out there. There are a lot of schools out there. Of course, Del Campo, the jewel, because that's where Stones went. 3-1 pitch. That's called ball 4, a little bit high. So Silvera reaches on a base on balls. Third issued by Tyler Moore, and here's Andre Butler, the right fielder. Andre, 2 for 6 in the series so far. He does have a run batted in. At Santa Teresa, the sophomore, 5'9", stems in from the right side. So 4th base runner of the game already for the Vikings. And Anthony Packard playing in at third, thinking bunt. It shows bunt. Here's the pitch. It's bunted down the first baseline. The pitcher stumbles, picks it up. He's not going to get to it. Throws it to first. Down in time. So Moore came off the mound and stumbled. I didn't think he'd get to it at all. He did get to it, managed to flip it over to first base. But Butler is going to have himself a hit and a sacrifice. First and second now. And here's Weston Scafoni, who is 1 for 5 with 3 runs scored. And again, the bunt seems to be in play. So that is the first hit of the game for anybody, and Butler with the bunt single. And Scafoni is up here with 2 on, nobody out, and he's given a long look down at his third base coach. Head coach is Rick Weens for the Vikings. Jeff Amaral, Nick Bartolucci, Kim Karabasatos, Bob Kittle, and Bailey Owen, trying to give them all a shout out. Scafoni shows bunt, pulls it back, and it's right in there for a strike. Karabatsos. Sorry, Kim. I have to give Kim Karabatsos, an extra call because I messed that one up. Of course, if I have to give an extra call to every name I mess up, we'll never get out of here. Thanks, Jones, for agreeing. Andrew Wilford, the leadoff hitter, is on deck as 0-1 now on Scafoni. Out of Lincoln Eye in San Jose. Here's the pitch. Shows a bunt again and pulls it back. Did he go? I don't think he did. I think it's a ball. The umpires, I think his 2 hands out to the side just indicated nothing really happened. It's the nothing happened call. Yeah, so it's 1-1. Packard down at third. Kind of cheating in a little bit. Tatum coming down from first base. 1 ball, 1 strike on Scafoni. He shows bunt. Here's the pitch. He gets out of the way of an inside fastball, so it's 2-1. Taking his time, checking with the third base coach is Scafoni. Nobody out here, top of the second. 2-1 coming from Tyler Moore. It's bunted out and missed. Yes, he did go after it that time. Umpire very emphatic in pointing that out. We appreciate emphatic umpires. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Okay, I think that's a Jack Russell Terrier over there. Put that down. JRT. Yellow Lab. Okay, good. Put that down. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We'll see what Scafoni is doing here with 2 strikes. And he shows bunt, and he pulls it back, and it's outside for a ball 3-2. So a lot going on now in a 3-2 pitch. See if the runners are going, if Scafoni's showing bunt, exactly what's going on. Full count, nobody out. We're in the top of the second. Severo walked. He's at second. Butler with the sacrifice bunt turns into the base hit. He's over at first. And Scafoni at the plate. They are going. The pitch is inside, ball 4. So Severo now at third, Butler at second, Scafoni at first. Still nobody out, and here's Andrew Wilford, who drew a brace on balls to start the game. He's 1 for 5 and 4 runs scored. He was 1 for 2 with 3 runs scored and 3 batted in on Friday in the 19-6 win for the Vikings. Packard even with the bag at third. Tatum the same at first. Here's the pitch. Inside, he gets away from the catcher. Coming in from third is Silvera. He's going to score standing up. And the other runners move up. Scafoni now at second. Butler at third on the pass ball. And the first run of the game is by the Vikings. They lead it 1-0. The pitch was inside, so it's 1 ball and no strikes on Wilford. James Bowes on deck, the shortstop, number 2 hitter. A walk, a single, and another walk this inning, and now a pass ball. 1-0 to Wilford. That one is getting away again. That one, a breaking ball that just hit right in front of home plate, gets back to the backstop, and another run's going to score. That is going to be a wild pitch on that one. Scafoni moves over to third. So we've got 2 walks, a bunt single, a wild pitch, and a pass ball, and now we're going to have a break in the action. We're going to chat about it on the mound. We'll step away for just a second here on the broadcast. Right now we're in the top of the second inning, West Valley 2, American River nothing.
Now, back with the play-by-play right here on Stones Radio Networks.
2 runs in, runner at third, nobody out here in the top of the second. 2-0 on Andrew Wilford. That one is a fastball, check swing strike. 2-1. Moore rears back and fires one past Wilford to make the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Scafoni down at third. 2 runs in the inning. Lordier to follow. Check swing foul back. Actually, Bowes to follow. Then Lordier. 2-2 now on Wilford. So whatever the coach told Tyler Moore, he got 2 strikes out of him. And that's what you want to do when you have one of those mound meetings. Infield is back, so not holding, trying to keep the runner from scoring. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Good job by Tyler Moore. He's had a couple of real impressive batters here. Just a freshman out of Del Campo, so first community college game. And here comes James Bowes, who was hit by a pitch his first time, on an 0-2 pitch, actually. So he's up here for the first official time. With Scafoni still down at third base. Bowes 3 for 9, 3 runs, 3 RBIs in the series so far. That's hit sharply into left field for a base hit past the diving Anthony Packard. So Bose delivers the RBI single, 3-0 in favor of the Vikings. Second hit of the inning, and that brings up Ryan Lordeer. Nothing cheap about that one. Bose spanked it right past Anthony Packard, who gave it a try, but couldn't get to it. And the Vikings have struck for 3 here in the top of the second, with Lordeer coming to the plate. Hit a fielder's choice his first time up, so he's 4 for 12 in the series. Does have 5 runs batted in. The third baseman out of Cappuccino high. Right-hander against right-hander. Good lead over there, so they throw over there. And Bose is back. Willie Tatum at first for the Beavers. Julian Blackwell at second. Darren Eales at short. Anthony Packard over at third. Dylan Herforth behind the plate. Ristori, Ott, and Diaz in the outfield. Here's Moore's pitch. Breaking ball swung on. Check swing. He missed it in the dirt. Blocked by Herforth. So it's 1 ball and 1 strike on Ryan Lordeer. So it's 0-1. I gave us a ball on the throw to first. Actually, it wasn't in the strike zone, but it was a pickoff attempt. So I think I'm in the wrong on that one. Hit sharply out toward third. Stabbed by Packard to second for 1. Blackwell to first. Did they get him? Yes, they did. Nice play all around. Willie Tatum with the sweep over at first base. 3 runs, 2 hits, none left at the end of an inning and a half. Vikings 3, Beavers nothing.
Oh, I love baking. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed a job. Personally, the most rewarding part about eating it always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, yes, not only people, foodies, and people eating it, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it, they can see it.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
Now, back
American
to the booth, right here on Stones Radio Networks.
Welcome back to Beaver Field. Bottom of the second. Vikings lead this one 3-0. Jake Morrell, Willie Tatum, and Christian Ristori, the first 3 hitters for the Beavers against Eric Murchison, who got out of the first inning with a strikeout and a hit batter. Morrell out of Whitney High, 6'4" freshman. 0 for 2 on the season. 0 for 3, on the season. Played in the game on Saturday. So here comes Jake, a first baseman and pitcher. Hits from the left side. All of 6'4" for the freshman. We're in number 30 up here against Eric Murchison. Starting the bottom of the second. Fastball outside for a ball, 1-0. One ball, no strikes. Beautiful day for baseball here. A little crisp, but still a beautiful day. Next pitch is in the dirt, 2-0. Willie Tatum to follow, and then Christian Ristori for the Beavers as they attempt to chip away at the 3-1 lead. The Vikings with 3 in the top of the inning. 2-1 from Murchison. Outside, ball 3. So far, Jake Morrell hasn't had to do much as those 3, all of them considerably out of the strike zone. Trying to get some base runners here for the Vikings, or for the Beavers. That one's high, ball 4. So Morrell's at first base with the base on balls. That brings up Willie Tatum. 1 for 6 on the season. Willie, a 6'3" sophomore out of Grant High School. Nice little scoop over at first base to end that 5-4-3 double play to end the top of the second. Blackwell's throw just a little short, and Willie short-hopped it. Gave it the flourish. The umpire gave him the thumb. In this case, that's a good thing for the Beavers. As Murchison rearranges his footwear, And he is ready to go with Morrell over at first base. Right-hander against right-hander. Tatum, straight up stance. Morrell short lead at first. Murchison throws high for a ball. 1-0. So 5 straight balls to open the bottom of the second for Eric Murchison. And the Beavers hoping to benefit as they trail this one 3-0. That one is lined in the left field for a base hit by Tatum. Morrell's going to round first. Second, he's going to look at third. He's going to go. The throw comes in, and he stops halfway and will be getting into a rundown. And he's tagged out by the third baseman. So Morrell kind of got into no man's land and went for it and then stopped in the middle, and he is thrown out. First hit of the game for the Beavers, Willie Tatum, but a base running mistake, and Coach Jay will not be happy about that one. The ball was hit really well. Left fielder Ryan Choi fielded it deep, but he got it in really quickly. And I think Morrell was just kind of in no man's land. Tatum did go to the second on the rundown, so good heads-up running by Willie Tatum there to put himself in scoring position. Here's Christian Ristori, just 0 for 1 on the season. That's a breaking ball, just a little bit low, ball 1. Christian out of Whitney High as well, a 6'2" freshman. Well-hit ball by Willie Tatum. His second hit of the season, a line drive to left field. So he is out at second base, 1 out here in the second. Ristori fouls one back to the screen. Take a cut at that one. That makes it 1 ball and 1 strike on Ristori. Number 8 hitter is Anthony Packard. He is on deck, the third baseman. Beavers would dearly like to push across at least 1 here in the bottom of the second to counteract the 3 that West Valley tallied in the top of the inning. Tatum leads at second. 1-1 to Ristori. Breaking balls chopped at the plate again. 1-2 on Christian. He's out in left field for the Beavers today. I actually believe it's warmed up a little bit. The crowd is sunning themselves now luxuriously out there with, jackets on and stuff. But 1-2. Story also straight up stance, not open or closed. Tatum leads at second. Shadowed out there by Bose. Breaking ball's chopped right back to the pitcher. It's off the glove. It goes out to Bose. He barehands it over to first. What a nice play by James Bose to throw out Ristori at first base. That could have been a disaster for the Vikings. It bounced off the glove of Murchison. Bose came in, had to barehand it, barely got Ristori down at first base. So 2 outs. Tatum did move to third on the play, and here is Anthony Packard, 1 for 8 with a run batted in so far on the season. The third baseman out of Colfax, 6'3" freshman. Murchison delivers a slider swung on and missed. 0-1 on Anthony. on Anthony. Another break ball, same result. 0-2 quickly on Packard with Willie Tatum down at third base. Murchison checks Tatum at third from the stretch. 0-2 coming up to Packard. Popped up. Coming back is Mazzaferro. I don't think he's going to get at it as it is behind the stands. That one was going to be a little bit closer to the fans in the front row there, but it went a little bit further. And nobody was threatened by that one, so that's good news. Packard stays alive as the third straight off-speed pitch. This one, at least he got the bat on and spoiled it a little bit. We are back here, Stones Radio Networks, presenting American River College Athletics on YouTube on Thursday at 2 p.m. when the Shasta Knights come to town. So make your plans to check us out then. 0-2 coming to Packard. Popped up again. That is also out of play. I want to say congratulations to our buddy Johnny Dasco, the Rivers Cats broadcaster for over 20 years. Finally gets the call up. He'll be working with the Oakland A's this season, and no better guy than Johnny Dasco. If I have any merit as a broadcaster, it's because of what he told me. And breakfast at Mel's Diner 6 years ago when I first started doing this. Can't believe I'm doing it 6 years and I sound like this. Fastball called, strike 3. So no runs, a hit, and 1 left. At the end of 2, it's West Valley 3, American River nothing.
Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get a great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kind of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at a Super Taco. We love to see you.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
I love baking. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed a job. Personally, the most rewarding part about eating it. It always used to seem like bread was just an
Now
afterthought.
back to the Phantom right here on Stones Radio Networks.
Top of the 3rd, West Valley leads at 3-0. Shout out to Super Taco and Grateful Bread, sponsors for American River College Athletics. We appreciate them, and we will patronize both those establishments. And again, as we started to say in the bottom of the 2nd, congratulations to Johnny Dasco, who is part of the Oakland A's broadcast team now after, I believe, 22 years with the River Cats. And like I said, great broadcaster and a great guy. So congratulations to Johnny. And we start off with the top of the 3rd. Jaden Mazzaferro, Ryan Choi, and Eric Murchison, the first 3 for the Vikings against Tyler Moore. First base umpire explaining something. He said they were starting, the umpire just said we're starting at 1-1. Is this softball now? Have we changed it? Okay. Swing and a miss on the first pitch makes it 1-2. Stones McCoy is out of the booth now, and he won't know what happened when he comes back, and it's 1-2 after 1 pitch, so I think it's going to be fun. Now the batter, who is Mazzaferro, is going to go down and talk to his third base coach, and I don't blame him, really. I would like to talk to his third base coach myself and find out what happened. The first base umpire was talking to Willie Tatum over at first base, and all of a sudden he motioned 1-1 to the cat. So I guess there was a violation on both teams or something. I guess it's like a double technical. I'm sure we'll get a further explanation. Or it's right now Mazzaferro is having a very lengthy conversation with his third base coach. They're discussing many items down there. 1 ball and 2 strikes after 1 pitch. Stones McCoy leaves the booth for one pitch, and the whole thing goes to heck. Here's Moore's pitch. Outside ball. 2-2. So we are thinking that it's a timing violation on both pitcher and hitter. That's what we are figuring out. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Inside ball 3-2. So the 20-second pitch clock was violated, as was the 12-second batter clock. So we had 2 violations of clocks, although you can't pitch if the batter's not there, and you can't hit if the pitcher's not ready. So I don't know. Anyway, it's 3-2. So that's where we've gotten to. Popped up out of play by Mazzaferro, who struck out his first time up, so he is 0 for 1. I would think there'd be the violations on one of the 2. Yeah, come on. Unless they're both just screwing around and they're not, maybe talking to each other or something. I mean, maybe they know each other from high school. 3-2 pitch, down in the dirt, ball 4. So base on balls to Mazzaferro. That is the 5th walk by Moore, and here comes Ryan Choi, who got a base on balls his first time, and we'll see if he is planning on sacrificing the runner to second base. as Packard thinks that he is, as he's playing up at third. Top of the third, Vikings lead this one 3-0. Good lead over at first base by Mazzaferro. Pitches high. There was no chance or no sign of a bunt there by Choi. 1 ball, no strikes to Choi. Moore checks Mazzaferro over at first. Willie Tatum holding him. There goes the runner. The pitch is swung on and chopped back to the pitcher. I think it's off the foot of Ryan Choi, as he's not going anywhere. He's just laying down, kind of taking his time to get back up, and very painfully, it looks like, as he limps. And, of course, the coach right away says, come on down here. Limp your way down to talk to me. And work it out is back to first base as Mazzaferro. Eric Murchison on deck for the Vikings, who lead this one 3-0. So we're going to call it a double clock violation. And our first, by the way, we have not experienced that before, especially at the start of the inning. It's a little odd because usually they throw it down to second base and everybody's ready to go. Umpire just made a giant safe motion, so I think that means everybody's okay. That's the universal everybody's okay sign. Here's Choi. 1-1. Packard still playing up close at third base. Tatum holding the runner on at first, the pitch. Fastball just misses inside, just misses the strike zone, just misses Ryan Choi. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Moore checks Mazzaferro at first. 2-1 pitch. Now he shows bunt, and it's a call strike. So a couple times the Vikings have shown bunt, pulled back the bat, and it's been a called strike. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Choi. Mazzaferro went earlier in the count. Let's see if he goes again. He's got the look of a guy who wants to take off on a 2-2 pitch here. He's not going. The pitch is high and inside, gets off the glove of Herforth, and he's going to get down to second base anyway on the wild pitch. Second wild pitch of the game for Moore, and a 3-2 count now on Ryan Choi. Moore, the freshman out of Del Campo, 6-footer, making his season debut here today. 3-2 count on Ryan Choi with Murchison to follow. Look back at second. 3-2 pitch is chopped down the third base line, but that's foul. Packard was going to give chase, decided just let it go. Get back to his spot. We'll do 3-2 again. 3 runs in the top of the second for the Vikings, giving them the 3-0 lead. Trying to add to it with Mazzaferro down at second. Nobody out here in the third. Good lead by Mazzaferro. There's the pitch. Popped up right side. Blackwell going to call for it. Right at traditional second base. Makes the catch for the first out. That one took a long time to come down, but eventually it did, as they usually do. And Choi is retired. Here's Murchison, who struck out his first time up. 2 for 6, 2 for 7 now in the series with the home run and a couple of runs batted in from Murchison out of Ontario, Canada. His high school, St. Brother Andre. I'm not familiar with them. I do not know their mascot. I mean, it's something like Marauders or Crusaders or something like that, you know? Just a guess. If there's anybody from Canada listening or watching, please let us know. Moore's going to throw back to second, which he does. Unfortunately, there's nobody covering, but it gets out to Dominic Ott, and Mazzaferro can't do anything as Ott returns it to the infield. So that could have been disaster, as it became obvious when he turned around that there was nobody even close to second base except for the runner. Fortunately for the Beavers, no advance by Mazzaferro on that one, and here is Murchison stepping back in. Again, I'm a mascot guy, so St. Brother Andre, I want to know what their mascot is. Moore looks back at second again. This time he comes to the plate. Murchison takes off of his arm, I believe, and he'll go down to first base. So first and second, one out. Second hit batter of the game for Moore. And here comes Tristan Silvera, who walked his first time up and scored the first run of the ball game. One out, two on, top of the third. Five walks and two hit batters for the Vikings here so far through 2 1/3. Here's Moore's pitch. That's down low. Good block by Herfurth. 1 ball, no strikes on Tristan Silvera. Sophomore out of Mountain View, playing over at first base for the Vikings. Andre Butler to follow. Packard not knowing what to do at third. Here's the pitch. It swung on and chopped out towards shortstop. Heels is going to have to hurry, and he's not even going to go for it, as it's going to be an infield single for Silvera. So not a lot of well-hit balls so far for the Vikings. They have 3 hits, and one is a bunt and one is a chopper. But pretty successful. They've loaded the bases for Andre Butler, who had that bunt single back in the second inning on a sacrifice, which Moore came off the mound and stumbled, and Butler beat it out. So he's up here now with the bases loaded, 1 out in the third. Butler from Santa Teresa High School. Right-hander against right-hander. Here's Moore's pitch. Butler takes fastball in there for a strike. Moore's got it. He just has to bring it out more often. And again, it's the first outing of the season for a freshman. First community college appearance, so it's a process, especially for a pitcher who probably hasn't pitched in a long time. And it's not a warm day out here. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed. 0-2. So quickly ahead of Butler with Weston Scafoni, the number 9 hitter, to follow. Mazzaferro at third. At second, it's Murchison. At first is Silvera. 0-2 now on Butler. From the stretch. 0-2 pitches hit sharply out towards shortstop. Eels has it. He's going to go to first with it. And not in time. Held on to it for too long. Threw it over to first base. Nice scoop by Tatum. But it is an infield single and RBI for Butler and a 4-0 score for the Vikings. So Butler gets his second RBI of the series. And here's Weston Scafoni. Murchison goes over to third. Silvera now at second and Butler over at first. Still just 1 out here for the Vikings. They lead at 4-0. Scafoni takes high for a ball. So a bunt single and 2 infield singles, 3 of the 4 hits for West Valley. They have 5 walks and 2 hit batters. So they have 11 base runners, and one of them's got it out of the infield. And that one's down low for a ball. 2-0 now on Scafoni. Top of the order, Andrew Wilford to follow. Moore rubbing the ball up. 2 balls and no strikes on Scafoni. That's lined into right field for a base hit. 1 run will score. Diaz has it. He's going to throw there. They're sending the second runner to cut off by Tatum, but there's nobody covering at home. It's a 2-run single by Scafoni and a 6-0 lead for the Vikings. Murchison scores. Silvera scores. Butler ends up at second base. And Scafoni with the 2-run single brings up Andrew Wilford. Third hit of the inning. That one was hit well to the outfield. And here's Wilford, who was walked and struck out. And we're going to have another meeting at the mound. May get a pitching change. We'll take a break here with this game in the top of the third. Vikings lead it 6-0.
Beat by DJ Stones. Now back to the Phantom right here on Stones Radio Networks.
Let's see if we do have a new. I thought we weren't going to get a pitching change, but now it looks like we are going to get a pitching change. So Stones McCoy says we'll take a full break right here. As again, it's the top of the third. We got a new pitcher coming in for the Beavers. We'll give you his identity when we come back. Vikings 6, Beavers nothing.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kind of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at Super Taco. We love to see you.
I love baking. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed a job. Personally, the most rewarding part about eating it always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, yes, not only people, foodies, and people eating it, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it, they can see it.
Now back to the Phantom right here on Stones Radio Networks.
Wyatt Balke is the new pitcher, the 6'5" freshman out of Wood Creek. He comes on with 2 on and 1 out here in the third inning, 3 runs in. And they've got the runner picked off second. They throw it to second, gun it over to third. The tag is applied by Packard. He got him, and now they've got the runner going to second, but nobody is covering. So going to second base will be Scafoni, but thrown out is Butler. Good job by the Beavers to get that second out. Scafoni moves over into scoring position. That time Balke whirled the throw, and the runner had already taken off. So he went through with the throw to second base, and the throw was quickly gotten over to Packard, and Anthony put the tag on Andre Butler. Scafoni, very alert, goes down to second base. And here's the first pitch. Fastball is just a little outside for a ball to Wilford, who was struck out and walked. Walked back in the first, struck out in the second. 1 for 6 in the series so far. Balke's next pitch is way outside, gets away from the catcher all the way back to the backstop, and going to third on the wild pitch is Scafoni. So he is down there with a 2-0 count now on Andrew Wilford. James Bowes, the shortstop, second place hitter, is on deck for West Valley. Two-0 pitch. That is a little bit high on a fastball by Balke. 3 balls, no strikes. We said Wyatt is out of Wood Creek High. The Timberwolves, I believe. That's in there for a strike, 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Top of the third, 3 runs in, 2 outs, and a run over at third. 3-1 pitch, call, strike 2 inside corner, as Wilford had already decided to make his way down to first base. He has a quick U-turn, and he'll face a 3-2 count here from Wyatt Balke. That fastball is just a little inside. Ball 4. So first and third now for the Vikings after that base on balls. Second walk of the inning along with the hit batter for Beavers pitchers, and here's James Bose, who has been hit by a pitch and singled. So he is 1 for 1, has an RBI. His single was a shot to left field. Back in the second inning. Balky slider is outside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes on James Bose. Ryan Lordier, the number 3 hitter to follow. If Bose can keep things going for the Vikings, they've scored 3 times here in the third. There goes the runner at first. The pitch is down low. No throw will be attempted. Sliding in is Wilford. 2 balls, no strikes on James Bose. 4 for 10 in the series. He's got 4 runs batted in, including the one today. Balky's 2-0 pitch right in there for a strike, 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike on Bose. Slightly open stance from the right side against the 6'5" Balky. Steps off the rubber, resets everything, unplugs it, plugs it back in. Two 1 pitches hit sharply into the dugout or off the side of the dugout of the Beavers. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Bose. Balky on in relief of Tyler Moore, who went the first 2 1/3. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed at a ball in the dirt. Had picked up by Herforth. He's going to throw it down to first for the out. So the strikeout by Balky, 3 runs, 3 hits, 1 left. At the end of 2 1/2, it's the Vikings 6 and the Beavers nothing.
I love lifting. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Red was started because I needed a job. Personally, this is the most rewarding part about eating. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, yes, not only people, foodies, and people eating it, they're expecting better quality, and then they can see it, notice it, they can see it. I love lifting. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Red was started because I needed a job. Personally, this is the most rewarding part about eating. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, yes, not only people, foodies, and people eating it, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it, they can see it.
Now back to the action right here on Stones Radio Networks.
Bottom of the third, Dylan Herforth is going to start us off. Then back to the top of the order for the Beavers, Julian Blackwell and Darren Eels against Eric Murchison, who so far in the first 2 innings has given up just the 1 hit. He has hit a batter and walked 1. And he faces Herforth here. That one is outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Dylan from El Camino High, the Eagles, a 6-foot freshman, behind the plate today, batting 9th. That one is in the dirt again and gets away from the catcher. So it's 2-0 on Dylan Herforth. Julian Blackwell, the top of the order to follow. 6-0 Vikings. We're in the bottom of the third. That one is high and inside, ball 3. So first batter of the second inning was a 4-pitch walk to Jake Morrell, and now we 3-0 on Dylan Herforth. That one is in there for a strike, 3-1. Herforth taking all the way. 3 balls and 1 strike. That one is in there as well, 3-2. Full count to Herforth, opening up the bottom of the third. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes, came all the way back from 3-0. Third strikeout for Murchison, and he'll face Julian Blackwell, who grounded to short his first time up. We're back here on Thursday against Shasta. Then on Friday, there's so much sports. I don't know where we're going to be here at the campus. We got a doubleheader in softball at 10 and 12. We've got a baseball game at 2 against Feather River. We've got a basketball doubleheader at night against Diablo Valley, 5:30 and 7:30. So I don't know where we're going to be. I mean, we're going to be here. I just don't know which ones. So, again, if you subscribe to the YouTube page, American River College Athletics, they'll let you know when we go live. You'll know where we are. You'll know before we do, probably. Breaking balls in there for a strike, 1-1 on Blackwell. A lot of activity, a lot of baseball, a lot of softball coming up in this spring season right here on the YouTube channel. Blackwell takes a breaking ball, calls strike 2 on the outside corner, 1-2. Basketball is completing their season, 6-5 in conference play, so still hopes of a playoff berth for the Beavers. They've got a tough one at Sac City tonight. Here's the pitch. Swinging a foul by Julian. Back to the screen. I think the basketball is back next Tuesday as well, so Friday and next Tuesday. That would be against Santa Rosa. Here's the pitch on the way. Blackwell swings and misses, strike 3. Fourth strikeout for Murchison, second of the inning, and that brings up Darren Eels, who was hit by a pitch back in the first inning. The shortstop out of Bear Creek High. I do not know the Bear Creek mascot. I would like to. You could say Grizzlies or something, but I don't know that that's true. I mean, that's kind of stereotypical, isn't it? Look out. He almost got hit again. In fact, I'm not saying he didn't. Inside for a ball. So as a placeholder, now you can't use a placeholder for mascots. That's right. I was going to say Grizzlies, but you can't, just because it's Bear Creek doesn't mean it's Grizzlies. That one is outside for a ball, gets away from Mazzaferro. I look close enough to be called a strike, but I think the fact that he didn't catch it might have had something to do with it. That's old school umpires. If you don't catch it, it's not a strike. That's the way I grew up. That's why I wasn't a catcher, because I couldn't catch it. I never got a strike call. 2-0 pitch. Look out. Darren Eels pulls away from that one. He's got to think that maybe Murchison has a problem with him personally now. Got hit the first time. 2 of them close right there. Nothing threatening or anything. Just the ball's close to him. 3-0. Darren, the slightly open stance from the right side. A little crouch. 3-0 pitch is in there for a strike, 3-1. Remember, Murchison went 3-0 on Dylan Herforth to start the inning and came back with 3 straight strikes. So it's 3-1 now on Eels with Dominic Ott to follow. Look out. That one's over his head. Again, Eels goes down to first base with the base on ball. Second issued by Murchison along with the hit batter, which was also Darren Eels. And here's Dominic Ott, who struck out back in the first. 2 hits and 3 runs batted in the series, including a home run last Friday for Dominic Ott. The sophomore out of Wood Creek looks down at third. 2 outs and a runner at first. His job pretty clear, though. His team trailing 6-0. Murchison, the 6'2" right-hander out of Ontario, Canada. Checks first, comes to the plate. Ott takes high for a ball, 1-0. Jonas Diaz to follow. If Dominic can keep it going here for the Beavers, they just got to get into the run column here. 1 ball and no strikes. Fastball outside, ball 2. 19-6 on Friday in favor of West Valley. That was here. Then down in Saratoga, the Vikings took a 3-2 11-inning win to make them 2-0 on the season. Looking to try to get the sweep today. They lead 6-0. Ott swings it sharply down to third base, backhanded by Lordeer. He's going to go all the way across the diamond to first and gets him by a step. Good play by Ryan Lordeer at third base. Ott is retired, no runs, no hits, 1 left at the end of 3. It's the Vikings 6 and the Beavers nothing.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers. American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers. American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California.
You're listening to coverage of ARC Athletics on Stones Radio Networks.
Top of the fourth from Beaver Field. Vikings lead at 6-0. Ryan Lordeer, Jaden Mazzaferro, and Ryan Choi will be the first three hitters for West Valley against the second pitcher for the Beavers, Wyatt Balke, the freshman out of Wood Creek. One ball and no strikes. Lordeer has reached on a fielder's choice and then to a double play, so he is 0 for 2, 4 for 13 for the series. That's a fastball inside, 2-0. Does have 5 runs batted in, including 2 of the 3 runs that the Vikings got on Saturday in that 3-2 extra inning win. 2-0 pitch outside for a ball, 3-0. Pitch hit him. So going down to first will be Lordeer. And he'll say that the same thing everybody out there says on 3-0. If you're going to just hit me, just walk me. Just go ahead and walk me. You don't have to hit me. I was walking on that pitch anyway. Anyway, Lordeer's down at first base, and here's Mazzaferro. Beavers pitchers understandably trying to work, having trouble control at the home game. The home game's Friday and today. And the umpire is talking to the Beavers dugout. Just trying to move people back into the place they're supposed to be, their designated areas. Here's Mazzaferro. He struck out and walked, scored in the third. Balke's pitch is right in there for a strike. Good-looking fastball. 0-1 on Mazzaferro, who has 2 runs batted in the series. He is at 1 for 8. Lordeer down at first base. Packard even with the bag at third. Here's the pitch. Fastball, that misses outside. Took something off that, actually. 1 ball, 1 strike on Mazzaferro. Out of Los Gatos, he's a sophomore, 5'10". 1-1 pitch is fouled off down the left side. Out of play, so 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ristori in left, Ott in center, and Dias in right. That's the outfield for the Beavers. They got Dylan Herforth behind the plate, Anthony Packard at third, Darren Eels at short, Julian Blackwell at second, and Willie Tatum over at first. Wyatt Balke, the second pitcher for ARC today. Here's the pitch. There goes the runner down in the dirt, and there's not going to be a throw. So a stolen base for Lordeer on a second ball that evens the count at 2-2. Just in the dirt, and Herforth couldn't handle it. Did good job to block it. And runner in scoring position. Nobody out here in the fourth. At fastball, but it's outside, 3-2. Ryan Choi to follow, number 5 hitter, left fielder today for the Vikings. Mazzaferro hitting in the cleanup spot, has a 3-2 count. Check of the runner back at second base. That's lined into center field, coming on is Ott, but it's going to be in front of him for a base hit. Mazzaferro's going to have to hold it third. The throw in is cut off by Willie Tatum. Good job by the Beavers defensively there, but a single by Mazzaferro, his first hit of the day. Lordeer is over at third. 6th hit for the Vikings, and here is Ryan Choi, who has walked and popped to second, so he is 0 for 1. Is that some sort of spaniel down there, Stone? Is that another terrier. We gotta get our dog breeds together. Dog breeds and mascots is what we're thinking about up here. First and third, nobody out here is Choi. Right-hander against right-hander. Fastball is in there for a strike on 1. Choi out of Cappuccino High School in San Bruno. A Maltese, okay. Put that down. Put that on the list, along with the Jack Russell Terrier and the Yellow Lab. And a Black Lab. Very good. That's outside for a ball. 1-1, nice block by Herforth. That's good. I think we had more than 4. I think we had more than that on Friday, but it was a little warmer on Friday. Toy poodle. You got to have a toy poodle. It's not really a game until you get a toy poodle who just sits there and doesn't even, you can't even tell it's there. Breaking ball. Nice looking pitch in there. Call strike 2. Choi thought it was a little bit high, but it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Ryan Choi. Beavers in the middle infield looking for that double play ball as Mazzaferro gets a good lead off of first base. Balky to the plate, 1-2, hit to left field. Going back is nice play out there by Ristori. It's going to tag at third and score. It'll be a sacrifice fly, but a nice play by Ristori on a line drive that was hit really well by Choi. So he gets credit for a sacrifice fly and an RBI. Scoring as Lordier, the 7th run for the Vikings. Staying at first is Mazzaferro. 1 out. And here's the pitcher, Eric Murchison. Pitcher/DH. Well, actually, it's just pitcher. In my mind, Eric Murchison, who struck out and been hit by a pitch. Left-handed, 6'2" left-hander out of Ontario, Canada. Up against the 6'5" Balky, who throws over to first base. This Willie Tatum slaps the tag on Mazzaferro just a little bit too late. So 1 run in, 1 out here in the 4th, 7-0 for the Vikings. Balky's pitch sails outside, 1-0. Choi hit that ball really well through the wind, through the breeze out there, but Ristori played it fine. Too deep for him to really make a throw to the plate and try to get Lordier. Throw it over to first again. This time Tatum handles it. Doesn't apply the tag. 1 ball, no strikes on Murchison. Tristan Silvera to follow. We're at Beaver Field here, American River College, Sacramento, California. Next pitch is popped up left side. I think it's going to get out of play. And everybody agrees with me. 1 ball and 1 strike. Murchison, we mentioned on Friday, hit the home run, as Stones McCoy described it, a bomb to right field. Of course, he's had a lot of training, being a broadcaster, so he comes up with things like that. I just said it was a long hit, but he said it was a bomb. I think his is better, actually. That pitch, a nice-looking fastball inside corner, strike 2. Murchison not agreeing with my assessment. Looks down at his first base coach. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mazzaferro still leading off at first. That's hit sharply in the hole and going after his Blackwell, but it's in the right field for a base hit. Not hit real hard, but perfectly placed by Murchison. He has his first hit of the day. Going to second is Mazzaferro. That is hit number 7 for the Vikings, and it brings up Tristan Silvera, the first baseman.
3, first baseman Tristan Silvera.
Silvera has so far walked and singled, so he is 1 for 1, has scored twice. His single, the infield variety, a chopper to short that no one could get to in time. Here's the pitch. He chops that one, but it's foul over by the Beavers dugout, so it's 0-1 on Silvera. 5'8" sophomore out of Mountain View, listed as the utility player, playing first base. Played first base also on Friday when he went 1 for 2 and scored a couple of runs. 0-1 from Balky. Swing and a miss. Off-speed pitch. Down low, 0-2 on Silvera. Mazzaferro out at second. Murchison over at first. Tyler Moore went the first 2 and a third for the Beavers. Wyatt Balky came on to relieve him in the third. He's pitching here in the fourth. Chopped foul by Silvera. Lorder was hit by a pitch, then a single by Mazzaferro. Choi with a sacrifice fly and a single by Murchison got us to where we are now. First and second, one out. 0-2 on Silvera. Spin to throw to second, and again, nobody covering. Happens a lot today. Balky wisely held on to the ball that time. More conversation between Coach Jay and the base umpire now. I'm probably debating some finer point of law. Inside for a ball. I believe it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Let's see. Well, it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. So maybe that's what they were talking about. There might have been, again, apologize because there's rule violations happening all over the place that I'm unaware of. It was all of a sudden swung on and fouled back to the screen by Silvera. I don't think there were 3 balls in this count. I'll be honest with you, Stones McCoy. You're the numbers guy. We'll go back over the tapes, of course. But I think that's what was being talked about from the Beavers dugout there is why the count was what it was. Here's Balky's pitch. Swung on and missed. Got him on strikes. So somehow he comes out with a strikeout, second out of the inning. And here's Andre Butler, who's got a bunt single and a ground out single. Or excuse me, an infield single. So he is 1 for 1. Scored twice, has driven in 1. He's 2 for 2, but he also has a sacrifice. It's very confusing with Butler. 4 for 8 in the series so far. That one is a fastball on the corner for a strike. So really, since he has a sacrifice, he's actually 2 for 1 when you think about it. That's a swing and a miss. Quickly 0-2 from Wyatt Balky as we ponder on the ramifications of the Butler sacrifice bunt, which became a single. Analytics people are going nuts, trying to figure out his WAR and his WAR plus and all kinds of stuff. 0-2 coming from Balky. Line to left field, going after it again is Ristori, and he dives for it. Did he make the play? I don't think he did. Yes, he did. What a play out there by Ristori in left field. A diving catch as he goes to the line in the blind spot from up here, but Christian Ristori with a fine catch. 1 run and 2 hits and 2 left at the end of 3.5. It's Vikings 7 and Beavers nothing.
Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get a great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kind of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at Super Taco. We love to see you. Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get a great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kind of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at Super Taco. We love to see you. Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get a great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kind of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at Super Taco. We love to see you. Here at
Now
Super
back to the action right here on Stones Radio Networks.
Bottom of the fourth, Vikings lead at 7-0. You know, you can put super in front of all kinds of words. Supersonic, Superman. But when you put it in front of taco, I don't think you can do any better than that, actually. So we thank the Super Taco people for coming on board. Joe Diaz, Jake Morrell, and Willie Tatum, the first three. You know, Stones, when we had the umpires up here before the game, we should have asked them what archaic rules they were going to be enforcing and find out if Stones thinks that there is a violation of stepping off the rubber, maybe is why Wyatt Balke was assessed a couple of extra balls there. So that's what we think it might have been. We're endeavoring to find out. A lot of new rules evidently came down, and I was not notified of them. Here's Diaz. Grounded to third his first time up. Murchison delivers in there for a strikeout speed pitch. 0-1 on Jonas out of Folsom. He is followed by Jake Morrell and Willie Tatum. Murchison's next pitch is inside for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. If these new rules are an effort to speed up the game, I'm all for them. That one is a fastball outside corner. Good. Strike 2. We have seen pitch clock and batter clock violations already, and now we've seen a couple of things out on the mound, which we're still trying to get clarification about. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball, call strike 3. So Murchison with his 5th strikeout of the game, and that'll bring up Jake Morrell, who walked back in the second inning. Left-hand hitting DH, Jake Morrell out of Whitney High School. Little GNR for the walk-up music, which not much GNR, I'll be honest. Almost didn't even get enough for the Geico commercial out, or Capital One, I think, is the one that Slash does. And I know it's a different song, but that's okay. I have a lot of questions about that commercial. 1 ball and no strikes. Outside ball too. I mean, he just does the first licks of Sweet Child of Mine. Do they not know it's Slash? Okay, so then why is Sweet Child of Mine such a good? Why do they give him the job right away? Fastball in there on the inside corner, 2-1. I mean, I'm sure there's 50,000 guitarists that could do the first licks of Sweet Child of Mine. No, I think they could. They couldn't do the rest of what Slash does. I'm not saying he wouldn't get the job. Breaking ball swung on and missed. 2-2. I'm just saying that they kind of gave it to him too quick, I think. Unless they knew it was Slash, and if they knew it was Slash, why they even make him audition? I got a lot of questions for Capital One. That's why I go Geico, 2-2. Inside, ball 3, very close. I'm not saying it's a better company. I'm just saying I understand their commercials better. You know, not having people be their parents, I understand that. That's pretty straightforward. 3-2 on Jake Morrell. 1 out here in the 4th. Breaking ball way outside, and Jake gets his 2nd straight base on balls. First one was a 4-pitcher. This one he had to wait a little bit longer on. And here's Willie Tatum, who slashed a single his last time, up back in the 2nd. He gets 2 for 7 on the season so far and scored a run. 6'3" sophomore out of Grant High School, the Pacers. I'm not even sure what the Pacers means, and I like it. Is it like the pace car? All right. Anyway, I still like it. Here's Tatum. Takes the fastball down low, throw back to first base, and Morrell is barely back in. Remember, Jake was caught between 2nd and 3rd on the Tatum single back in the 2nd, so he's got to play it safe over at first base. Nice throw by Mazzaferro. One ball and no strikes on Willie Tatum. That ball a little bit too low. Murchison looks over at first. Comes to the plate, breaking ball, catches the inside corner. Looks like it almost caught Willie's jersey, but call strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Christian Ristori on deck. Big lead by Morrell over at first base. Here's the 1-1. Willie swings and misses. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Three runs in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th for the Vikings. They lead at 7-0. Beavers with their only hit was back in the 2nd. It was a Willie Tatum single to left. That one is down in the dirt. Nice block by Mazzaferro, keeping Morrell from going to second base. So it's 2-2 on Willie Tatum. Right-hander against right-hander. Murchison looks over at Morrell. Come to the plate. Call strike 3 outside corner. 6 strikeouts now for Murchison. 2 in this inning, and here's Christian Ristori. He was retired in the first inning on a good play by James Bowes. He had a ground ball off the pitcher's glove. Bowes came in, scooped it up barehanded, threw to first, got him by a step. So Christian 0 for 1, 0 for 2 on the season. He also from Whitney High School. That's inside for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. Outfield straight away. Here's the pitch. Ristori chops it out towards shortstop. It's a little short up out there. Short all the way across to first. You're not going to get there in time. Nice play by Bowes, but Ristori beats it out. Just not enough time. That was just a big hopper. Second hit of the game for the Beavers, and that'll bring up Anthony Packard, who struck out back in the second inning. At least they gave, a little bit of Beastie Boys, but we got a little bit more of it than poor Guns N' Roses. In fact, they better turn it off and play the whole song. Packard up here with 2 on and 2 out in the 4th. Swing and a miss off-speed pitch. Had a bunch of them his first time up. Eventually struck out. So he digs in. Open stance from the right side, has the crouch. Anthony at 6'3", the freshman from Colfax. Swing and a miss, off-speed pitch again, 0-2. Dylan Herforth, the catcher, the number 9 hitter, is on deck if Packard can keep things going for the Beavers here in the 4th. Fastball call, strike 3 outside corner. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left as we go to the 5th. Vikings 7, Beavers nothing.
I love dating. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Red was started because I needed a job. Personally, this is the most rewarding part about eating it. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, yes, not only people, foodies, and people eating it, they're expecting better quality, and then people notice it, they can see it. I love dating. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Red was started because I needed a job. Personally, this is the most rewarding part about eating it. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, yes, not only people, foodies, and people eating it, they're expecting better quality, and then people notice it, they can see it.
You're listening to coverage of ARC Athletics on Stones Radio Network.
Top of the 5th, Christian Lucero is the new pitcher for the Beavers, the sophomore right-hander out of River City, one of the top save men in the area last year. He'll face Weston Scafoni, Andrew Wilford, and James Bowes, 9-1-2 for the West Valley Vikings. Here in the 5th is Lucero, famously the submariner, the underhander, whatever you want to call it. And he will be making, I think, his first appearance of the year. He didn't pitch on Friday. I don't know that he pitched on Saturday. We'll check that out with our crack staff. Here's Weston Scafoni. No, I resisted the impulse to say that means they're all on crack. That would be wrong. I didn't say it wasn't accurate. I just said it would be wrong. Here's Scafoni, who has a walk and a 2-run single in this one. He's 2 for 6 in the series. First pitch is missed somewhere, probably inside, and Scafoni's ahead in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Next one is chopped out toward shortstop. Eels comes in, has it, throws across the diamond and gets him by a step at first base. Good play by Darren Eels. 6-3, Scafoni is retired, and here comes Andrew Wilford, the leadoff hitter who has struck out and walked so far in this one, so he is 0 for 1. Andrew, the center fielder at a Pioneer High School. He is also a freshman. Here's Lucero's pitch is in there for a strike, 0-1. Christian, again, coming from downstairs, a much different look than these guys have seen, probably in the entire series. That one is on the outside corner for a strike. A little bit more zip on it than you'd expect looking at it. 0-2. Wilford open stance from the right side, the 0-2. Chop back toward Lucero. He's got it on a hop. Throws it underhand over to first and dropped by Tatum at first base. So an error on Tatum at first base. First error in the game for the Beavers. And that'll bring up James Bowes. Bowes has been hit by a pitch, has an RBI single and struck out. So he is 1 for 2, 4 for 11 for the series with 4 runs batted in and 3 scored. There goes the runner. The pitch is a strike. The throw to second base is going to be just a little bit too late. Gets away, but backed up by Darren Eels. And a stolen base for Wilford. His 3rd stolen base of the game, by the way. So he is down at second. 0-1 count on James Bowes. Ryan Lordier to follow. Bowes, a freshman from Lee High School in San Jose. Next pitch is lined to Tatum. He's back and knocks it down, picks it up, and he's going to go step on first and retire James Bowes for the second out. So Tatum handles that one, 3 unassisted, and brings up Ryan Lordier. Going over to third is Andrew Wilford.
17, third baseman Ryan Lordier.
Lordier was hit by a fielder's choice, double play, and then hit by a pitch. So he is 0 for 2, has scored 1 run, has 5 runs batted in on the series. First pitch is chopped foul down the right field line. They're up there hacking against Lucero, trying to time it. Well done by Bowes trying to take that one to right field, but just hit it right at Willie Tatum, who knocked it down and stepped on first. Next pitch is hit, line drive into right field for a base hit. So Lordier lines it past the diving Willie Tatum. It's an under and run, but it's a run nonetheless. And Lordier has his 6th run batted in of the series, and it is now 8-0 in favor of the Vikings. And that brings up Jaden Mazzaferro. Struck out, walked, and singled, so 1 for 2 on the day, has a run scored. Lordier just waited for that one and put it right past Tatum. There goes Lordier, and he swings this Mazzaferro and fouls it off. So maybe taking advantage of the fact that Christian drops down to release the ball. It takes him a while to get rid of it, but Lordier was going right away. We're in the top of the 5th. It's 8-0 for West Valley. 0-1 on Mazzaferro. Lucero bakes over to first base, but evidently stepped off the rubber first because there's no balk call, although the rules could have changed. That is outside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ryan Choi on deck, and Mazzaferro keeps it going. There goes the runner. The pitch is hit sharply out towards second. Big hopper for Blackwell, and it goes right through his legs into right field. Second error of the inning for the Beavers. Staying at second is Lordier. So 2 errors on the inning, first and second, and that'll bring up Ryan Choi. Choi has walked, popped to second, and hit a sacrifice fly to left field. 1 hit in the series so far, and grabbed the RBI last time up. Right-hand hitting left fielder against Lucero. The pitch is outside for a ball, 1-0. Eric Murchison on deck. So 2 errors in the inning by the Beavers, allowing the 1 unearned run so far. That's line foul down the right field line. 0-1. Excuse me, 1-1 on Ryan Choi. The freshman left fielder waits for the 1-1 from Lucero. Oh, took a lot off that one. In there for a strike, bends it in. 1-2. Kind of a new look, right? I mean, the Lucero's a new look anyway, but then when you take something off it like that, pulls the string. Choi probably wise to let that one go. 1-2 coming. Says it again, and he lines that one into center field. Ott's going to come up with it on a hop, going to try for the plate. The runner's coming in. The throw to the catcher. He's got him by 10 feet, tags him out at home, and the inning is over. So a base hit for Choi, but the runner's thrown out at the plate. 1 run on 2 hits and 2 errors at the end of 4.5. It's the Vikings 8, the Beavers nothing.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers. American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
Now back to the booth
American
right here on Stones Radio Networks.
Bottom of the 5th, Eric Murchison still on the hill for the West Valley Vikings. He enjoys a 8-0 lead. He'll face Dylan Herforth. Then the top of the order, Julian Blackwell and Darren Eels. 9-1-2 for the Beavers, who have 2 hits in the game. 7 strikeouts for Murchison, including all 3 outs in the 4th inning. And 2 of those were a call third strike. So here's Herforth. Little Ozzy Osbourne playing for the El Camino Eagle. He struck out back in the 3rd. First pitch is popped out of play right behind us, so it's 0-1 on Dylan. We're in number 10. Another freshman in Coach Jay's class of incoming freshmen. Here's the pitch. That's outside for a ball, 1-1. Back in action on Thursday are the Beavers, hosting the Shasta College Knights here at 2 p.m. That one is in the dirt, 2-1. Stones McCoy and I will be behind the camera and behind the mic, respectively, to bring you that one. 2-1. I didn't say which one would be doing which. That's chopped down to third base. A little short hop down there. Nice play by Lordier. Throws it across, but too high, and it's over the head of the first baseman. And I believe that probably should be an error on Lordier, as I think that a good throw would have had him. First error of the game for the Vikings, and Herforth reaches base. And here's Julian Blackwell. Grounded to short and struck out 0-2, or 0-4-2 for Blackwell. That's our first service dog, I think. Oh, okay. So you neglected to mention that the Black Lab was a service dog. You know, it says on those vests, do not pet. Did you not? You can't. You're not supposed to pet service dogs. You're not supposed to pet any dog. So here's Blackwell. Herforth over at first base. That one's fouled out of play. Julian, a 6'2" sophomore out of East Side High in Antelope Valley. Herforth with a very short lead over at first base. Murchison looks over. Blackwell pops one up right side out of play. So quickly 0-2 on Julian Blackwell. Oh, the service dog went chasing the foul ball. Fantastic. Oh, man. He knew he wasn't supposed to, because what if they want to get that ball back in and play? You don't want to have dog teeth marks on it. 0-2 coming to Blackwell. He fouls that one, spoils that one out into the screen. What a good boy. 0-2. Herforth gets off a little bit further over at first base, still not very far. 0-2 coming to Blackwell. Breaking ball is hit hop high in the air, left field line. It's going to be foul, I think, and I don't think anybody's going to get to it. As hit well by Blackwell. Remember, he had a deep double to left field back in the game on Friday. But for that one, it was all for naught. He'll come back and try it again. Still 0-2 on Blackwell with Eels to follow. Herforth led off with a ground ball to third that was thrown away at first base, so he reached on the air. 0-2 on Blackwell. Fastball's down low for a ball, 1-2. Blackwell following that way. That one all the way into the catcher's glove. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Check of the runner at first. Check swing, he went around, strike 3. Strikeout number 8 for Murchison. And that'll bring up Darren Eels, who has been hit by a pitch and walk. So one guy that Murchison has not been able to get the ball over the plate against is Eels.
For the Beavers, number 5, the shortstop, Darren Eels.
Eels out of Bear Creek High, the freshman. Open stance from the right side against the right-hander Murchison. That's high for a ball. 1-0. Little stirring in the bullpen for the Vikings. Pretty far down there, though. Can't really get a number right now. 1-0 pitch. It's fouled off at the plate, so it's 1-1. A couple of right-handers down there throwing. West Valley, looking at their roster, they have many, many, many right-handers. Got to do better than that, Stones McCoy, if you ever want to get out from behind those cameras. 1-1 to Darren Eels. Breaking ball's in there for a strike. Slider perhaps. 1-2 on Eels. Dominic Ott to follow. Herforth over at first base with 1 out here in the 5th. That's in the dirt. Nice block by Azzafaro. That clearly would have gone back to the backstop, but Jaden put the stop on it. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Eels. Hits that one high up in the air to right field. Butler got a beat on it, reaches up and makes the catch for the out. So 2 outs as Eels flies out to right field. That brings up Dominic Ott, who has struck out and grounded to third.
Now batting for the Beavers, number 16.
0 for 2 for Dominic today. Center fielder out of Wood Creek, the sophomore. Standout on the Beavers team last year. Settles in for his 3rd shot at Eric Murchison. Jonas Daya is on deck if Dominic can keep something going here. Herforth leads over at first base. Breaking ball breaks into the strike zone, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. With a slightly open stance from the right side. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. Murchison's off-speed stuff been pretty effective so far against the Beavers hitters. Here's the pitch. Hit sharply down at Lordier, kicks it over at third base. He's not going to be able to make a play. There's going to be an error on the third baseman, and Ott will reach first. So 2nd error on the third baseman in the inning. Herforth now is at second. At first is Ott, and here's Jonas Diaz. Looks like Jalen Jadeo is the pitcher warming up. And the right-hander, number 25, was warming up down in the pen for the Vikings, 6-footer. A sophomore at Santa Teresa High School. At least he is one of them. 2 on and 2 outs here in the 5th. Diaz takes high for a ball. Thought about it. Held back. 1 ball, no strikes on Jonas. He is grounded to third and struck out. So 0 for 2. Looking for his first hit as a Beaver. The freshman out of Folsom. Swings and misses at that one. 1-1. Murchison checks second. Herford again, not a very big lead out there. Diaz takes in the dirt, and the ball gets away. A wild pitch, and the runners will move up. So Ott moves to second. Herford is over at third now on the wild pitch. Mazzaferro tried to put the stop on that one, couldn't get in front of it, and it scooted over to his right toward the dugout from West Valley. Runners advancing, so 2 out there in scoring position for Diaz. It's 2 balls and 1 strike on Jonas. Fastball caught the outside corner, call strike 2. 2-2 on Jonas Diaz. Jake Morrell, the DH on deck. He has a couple of base on balls to his credit so far today. 2-2 pitch coming up. That's a ground ball out to shortstop. Bose has it. Takes his time, guns it across the diamond, has him by a couple of steps at first base for the out. So no runs on no hits, 2 left at the end of 5. It's the Vikings 8, the Beavers nothing.
Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kinds of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at Super Taco. We love to see you. Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kinds of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at Super Taco. We love to see you. Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kinds of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at Super Taco. We love to see you.
Now back to the booth right here on Stones Radio Networks.
I personally could just listen to the Super Taco commercial for a couple of innings. That would be nice. Top of the 6th, Vikings lead at 8-0. Christian Lucero back out on the mound for the Beavers. Beavers Alumni Association Crab Feed coming up on February the 18th. ARCBeavers.com and get all the information out there. Tremendous bargain. All kinds of great stuff going on out there. Great food, of course. I think they'll probably have crab out there. That's what I'm thinking. 5 to 10 at the ARC Student Center. Check out arcbeavers.com for information and get tickets, because you got to get tickets. There's not that many tickets. Or you could scan the QR code on your screen and all that stuff. I don't understand that, Stones. That's in there for a strike. This is, actually, it's supposed to be, we have Jacob Serpa hitting for Murchison. They snuck him in there while I was complaining. He's dead out to second base. Blackwell has it on a hop over to first for the out. So Murchison is out. Serpa comes in the 6th. And that'll bring up Tristan Silvera.
First baseman Tristan Silvera.
Murchison 1 for 2 while he was in there. Had a scored a run, had a single. Silvera is 1 for 2. The first pitch is in there for a strike on 1. So Jacob Serpa batting for Murchison and probably take over at the DH spot. Serpa giving him his credit, from Washington High School, a 5'8" sophomore. That's a ball, 1-1. Lucero, the third pitcher for the Beavers. Moore started, Balke, and then Lucero. That one just misses outside, tantalizingly close to Tristan Silvera. 2 balls and 1 strike. Silvera out of Mountain View. Takes a cut at that one and slices it foul over the top of the Viking dugout. Moves the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out here, top of the 6th. And he fouls that one away as well. So Murchison is going to go 5 innings, give up 2 hits, no runs. Struck out 9 in his first outing of the season. Here's the pitch. Oh, inside and hit him. So that was supposed to move. It did not move, and Silvera was going down to first base, hit by a pitch. So that'll bring up Andre Butler, the right fielder. Although this does not look like Andre Butler. Actually is a pinch hitter. Number 23 is Ryan Fernandez.
Pitch hitting for West Valley, number 23, Ryan Fernandez.
So Fernandez comes on for Butler, who had a couple hits today. And an RBI as well. So here's Fernandez. 5'10" freshman, takes outside for a ball from Aragon High School. I think he made an appearance in the game on Friday. Came on but did not get an official at bat. There goes the runner. There's the pitch. It's a strike. The throw to second base is going to be just a little bit too late. On target, but too late in a steal by Silvera. He's in scoring position now. 1 ball and 1 strike on Ryan Fernandez. That is just a little bit outside, 2-1. Weston Scafoni is on deck, number 9 hitter. That's chopped very slowly down to first base. Tatum's coming in. He's got it. He's going to just tag the runner. And moving over to third base is Silvera. So Fernandez is retired. 3 unassisted. Brings up Weston Scafoni, who has walked, had a 2-run single, and grounded out to shortstop. So he's 1 for 2.
Second baseman Weston Scafoni.
Lincoln High School in San Jose, 5'8" sophomore Weston Scafoni. 2 for 7. He slices that one down the right field line, and that is going to be foul. First base umpire trying to motion it to go fair, but did not have any effect on the ball's flight. And if he had, I would have been interested. Would have been upset, but I would have been interested. But he couldn't. So it's 0-1 on Scafoni. Want to check out that American River College, the alumni putting on that crab feed on the 18th. You just got to pull it up on the screen and scan the QR code. It's not that hard. Next pitch is inside or low. You take your pick. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Stones makes a big deal out of it. Just got to scan the QR code. It's right there on the screen, right there. That's all you got to do. Fantastic. Now it's too late. 1-1 pitch. Chop foul down the right field line. Again, 1 ball and 2 strikes. I find that oftentimes you go to a crab feed and the side dishes are what really intrigues you. You know? I mean, they fantastic. Oh, man. That's high for a ball. 1-2. Garlic bread that's one of them. 2-2. 2 outs, runner at third. Scafoni walked, singled, and grounded to short. He chops that one foul at the plate. So he stays alive. Andrew Wilford, the leadoff hitter, is on deck. We are in the top of the 6th. Vikings 8, Beavers nothing. 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed, got him on strikes. No runs, no hits, 1 left at the end of 5 1/2. Vikings 8, Beavers nothing.
I love vaping. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Red was started because I didn't need a job. Personally, the most rewarding part about not eating it. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, yes, not only people, foodies, and people eating it, they're expecting better quality and notice it, they can see it. Notice it, they can see it. I love vaping. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Red was started because I didn't need a job. Personally, the most rewarding part about not eating it. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, yes, not only people, foodies, and people eating it, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it, they can see it.
Now back to the Phantom right here on Stones Radio Networks.
Bottom of the sixth, Vikings lead at 8-0. Jalen Jagdeo, the right-hander out of Santa Teresa, he's a 6-foot sophomore. He comes on in relief of Eric Murchison. 5 innings, 2 hits, and 9 strikeouts for Murchison. So I'd say he did his job pretty well if you're looking at it from the West Valley side, and now it's up to Jagdeo to finish it out or take it a little bit further down the line. Jake Morrell will be the first hitter for the Beavers, then Willie Tatum and Christian Ristori. As finishing up his warm-up tosses, the throw down to second base. I think we might have a new catcher as well. I'll have Stones McCoy check the numbers for me. First pitch from Jagdeo is down low for a ball. One ball, no strikes. That one's chopped foul down the third base line. That might be Matthew Singh behind the plate. Here's the pitch. That's fouled back. This is definitely a 2, and I can't see the other number. And Matthew Singh came on Friday and took over from Mazzaferro behind the plate. So we're going to just work on it. We're going to Columbo it out and figure it out. 1-2 now on Morrell, who's walked twice. That one is outside for a ball. Good eye by Jake. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jalen Jagdeo, the new pitcher, relieving Eric Murchison for the Vikings, who enjoy the 8-0 lead here in the bottom of the 6th. That's high for a ball, 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. That's chopped out to second base. Scocone has it. Takes his time over to first in the dirt. Scooped out over there. Did he scoop it out? Yes, he did by Tristan Silvera. And Morrell is retired. So 1 out here in the 6th inning, and that'll bring up Willie Tatum, who was singled and struck out. So he is 1 for 2 today.
First baseman Willie Tatum.
Tatum is retired. Hit the ball well, but not as well as Wilfred thought he did. And he is out. 2 outs here, and here's Ristori, who has a single and a ground out. He was retired on a good play by James Bowes back in the 2nd inning. A ball that glanced off the pitcher Murchison's glove, and Bowes barehanded it, threw it to first, and then a single by Ristori back in the 4th, an infield single. Takes that breaking ball in there for a strike. 0-1. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. Jalen Jagdeo, the new pitcher for the Vikings. That's another little slider in there for a strike. 0-2 on Ristori. The freshman out of Whitney High. 6'2", an outfielder and a catcher, according to the sheet I have in front of me. 0-2 pitch. That is called strike 3. So a good inning for Jagdeo. 1-2-3. We go to the top of the 7th. The Vikings lead this one 8-0.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers. American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers. American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
Now, back with the play-by-play right here on Stones Radio Network.
Josh Heinkel, the new pitcher for the American River College Beavers. He relieves Tyler Moore started, then Wyatt Balke, Christian Lucero, and now Heinkel. Lucero, 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, no earned runs. And Heinkel's going to take on the top of the order. That should start with Andrew Wilford, then James Bowes, and Ryan Lordier. Wilford has walked twice, struck out, and reached on an error, so he is 0 for 2 so far in this one. And here is Wilford stepping in against Heinkel. Josh pitched on Friday. Pitched the last inning. It was a 1-2-3 inning. First pitch is a ball, 1-0. Left-hander out of Intercom, 6'5", works from the stretch against Wilford. That's in the dirt, ball 2. 2-0. That's in there for a strike on the inside corner, 2-1. Back here on Thursday, 2 o'clock, first pitch against the Shasta College Knights. Then on Friday, just a plethora of activity on the campus. A couple softball games, a baseball game, a couple basketball games. We're going to be at some of them. We're trying to figure them out. Basketball coming down to the end of the conference season, so trying to bring you that one. Also, haven't done any softball games, so looking forward to getting on over to that field as well. So we'll have to work out the logistics. Usually Stones does that, but he's attitude problems, so we probably won't be taking that. That's hit high up in the air, center field. Ott's going to have to go back a little bit, but now he's got a beat on it. Still backpedaling, reaches up and makes the catch. So Wilford, a well-hit ball, but he's retired on a fly to center field. First out is recorded, and here's James Bowes, the shortstop. Bowes has been hit by a pitch and an RBI single, struck out and grounded out to first base. So he is 1 for 3. Now we've got a pinch hitter, number 5. That's going to be Dylan McKee hitting for Bowes. So ball 1 to Dylan McKee. And Bowes' day is over as McKee comes on. That is in the dirt for a ball. Dylan is a 5'8" sophomore out of Smoky Hill High School. And if that's really the name of the high school, I don't know what the mascot is, but I have some thoughts. 2 balls and no strikes on McKee. Ryan Lordeer on deck. Shows bunts it, but foul back to the screen. So it's 2-1 now on McKee. Dylan came on late in the game on Friday, did not get an official at bat. So he is up here against Josh Heinkel. 1 out in the 7th. Chop foul. It hit the ground, hit the catcher, hit the batter. The umpire said it was foul 4 times. It was a very exciting play. But it just counts for a strike, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two from Heinkel. It is outside and low, ball 3. 3-2. Base on balls again, a problem for the Beavers today as they try to work the kinks out. Just getting started, just January. 3-2 pitch. Chop foul, 3-2 still. Coach Jay working with a new group. A lot of freshmen out here. A lot of freshmen seeing time. Ott in center field. Heinkel played also last year, but got newcomers at almost every position. Three-two from Heinkel from the stretch. It's hit sharply out into center field for a base hit for McKee. So he's got his first hit. Throw comes all the way back to first behind him from center field, but he is back with a dive. So Dylan McKee is 1 for 1, and here is Ryan Lordeer. The third baseman has hit fielder's choice into a double play, but hit by a pitch and singled.
17th third baseman Ryan Lordeer.
That was an RBI single by Lordeer, so he now has 6 runs batted in the series. Heinkel's first pitch just misses inside, 1-0. Lordeer with a run scored, a run batted in. 1 for 3 on the day so far. Makes him 5 for 14 in the series. That one is in there for a strike at the knees, 1-1. Heinkel with a look over at first base. That's inside for a ball. Lordeer thought it might have hit the pants there. 2-1. There goes the runner, McKee. The pitch is a strike, and no throw will be made as McKee steals second base. 2-2 now on Lordeer. He's got his 7th RBI of the series out there at second base. Just 1 out here in the 7th. That one sails outside and gets away from the catcher and will go all the way back to the backstop. Going to third base is McKee. So he's down there, 90 feet away. A full count on Ryan Lordeer. Matt Singh on deck. Who came on for Mazzaferro. Infield is in, the 3-2 pitch, high and inside, ball 4. So Lordeer gets the base on balls. He's at first base. Over to third is McKee, and here is Matt Singh, the catcher. Out of St. Francis High School, the freshman.
Batting for West Valley, number 24, Matthew Singh.
In at the corners. Looks like Anthony O'Connor is warming up for the Beavers in the pen, the left-hander out of Woodland. Singh swings and misses. 0-2 on Matthew Singh. Corners are playing even. Infield second and shorter in double play position for ARC. Here's the pitch. That is down low for a ball, 1-2. Tatum actually more accurately holding the runner on at first base. That's Ryan Lordier. McKee at third. Even with the bag over there is Packard. 1-2 coming to Singh. Fastball just inside, ball 2. 2-2. Lordier at first base. Has a stolen base so far here today. Here's the pitch. No, they're going to go over to first base because Heinkel thinking the same thing. Probably a good time for him to take off. Wants to keep that force on if he can. At 2-2 now on Matthew Singh. Hit sharply out towards second. Blackwell is going to go to second for one, and Eels the first double play, nicely turned by the Beavers. 4-6-3 going to the bottom of the seventh. Vikings lead this one 8-0.
Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kind of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at Super Taco. We love to see you. Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kind of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at Super Taco. We love to see you. Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kind of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at Super Taco. We love to see you.
You're listening to coverage of ARC Athletics on Stones Radio Networks.
Bottom of the seventh, Joshua Willis, the new pitcher for West Valley. He is a right-hander, a freshman at Homestead High. Comes on here to face Anthony Packard, Dylan Herfurth, and Julian Blackwell, the 8, 9, and 1 batters in the Beavers order. Nice double play turned by the Beavers in the top of the inning with Blackwell, Eels, and Tatum. Willis finishing up his warm-up tosses to Matthew Singh, who throws it down to second base. Ryan McKee is now in at shortstop. He batted for James Bowes and had a single. And now we've got number 23. It looks like it's going to be Evan Rice. Evan Rice is going to bat for Packard. First pitch is slammed into left field for a base hit. So Rice showing the wisdom of that move as he slams one into left field for a base hit. Just the third hit of the game for the Beavers. And it means Dylan Herfurth comes to the plate.
Now batting the Beavers, number 10, the catcher, Dylan Herfurth.
So Willis is greeted by a single from Evan Rice, and here's Herfurth, who's struck out and reached on an error. Fastball is outside for a ball, 1-0. Herfurth behind the plate today, a catcher out of El Camino High, freshman. Rice over at first base. That's fouled back to the screen by Dylan. 1 ball, 1 strike. Top of the order, that's Julian Blackwell on deck. Actually, it looks like a pinch hitter over there as well. That's going to be... actually, that's just Eels over there, pretending he was on deck. That's high for a ball. I'm just always eager late in the game to put in pinch hitters because they try to trick us and never tell us. So you got to be a super sleuth up here, man. I'm telling you. one of the things they don't tell you about broadcasting. Got to be a super sleuth. 2-1. Willis looks over at first. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss at a fastball. Herford took a big old cut at that one, makes it 2-2. A reminder, we're back here on Thursday at Beaver Field, 2 o'clock first pitch against the Shasta College Knights. I hope you will join us on the American River College YouTube and subscribe to it so you know whenever we're going to go live. Here's the pitch. That's outside, 3-2. I don't know if there's any place to make comments on there or anything, but if they say something nice about Stones, because he's very, very sensitive. He's sensitive. He's needy. I mean, I don't want to say that. I guess I just did. 3-2. That's high, ball 4. Good at bat by Herford. He takes the base on balls. 2 on, nobody out for the Beavers here. And here's Julian Blackwell. Ground out and a couple of strikeouts for Blackwell, and going out to talk to his pitcher. We will just say it is Rick Weens, the head coach. It might not be, and we don't want to, denigrate anybody, but just want to give Rick a shout out anyway, even if it's not him. Say, hey, Rick, good job. Good luck to your team this year. I don't think we have anything against West Valley. Wouldn't mind if they gave us 9 runs right here. That would be nice. But otherwise, good luck to them. Maybe we'll see you in the playoffs, man. That's what you always say the first. So Kay Cox is warming up. He is left-hander, was the starting pitcher on Friday. He's loosening up down in the pen. He went 5 innings on Friday, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, and struck out 8, so he got himself a W. And we finally broken up the conclave out on the mound, which grew to include 6 players, a manager, an umpire, and a couple of aides, probably a couple of personal assistants. But here's Blackwell. Willis comes set. Got runners at first and second. Blackwell kind of bunts at it, and it pops over the pitcher out toward shortstop, and that's going to be a base hit. A tremendous hybrid swing bunt, which confounded everybody. He popped it up perfectly placed, and the shortstop was covering a bag. He wasn't even around it, so that's a hit for Blackwell. That loads the bases in one of the more curious hits we've seen in a while, and here's Darren Eels. And whatever it is, he executed it perfectly. I don't know what exactly it was, but, man, he put it in a perfect position. So bases loaded, nobody out. That pitch is high for a ball. 2 hits in the inning, 4 for the game for the Beavers. They only had 2 on Saturday in 11 innings down in Saratoga. Eels hit by a pitch, walked, and flied to right. That one is high again, 2-0. Dominic Ott on deck. Eels, the freshman out of Bear Creek High School. 2-0. Swing and a miss. That one right in there by Jordan Willis. 2-1. Bottom of the 7th, West Valley leads at 8-0. Beavers with the bases loaded and nobody out. Couple hits and a walk. Popped up out of play behind us, so it's quickly 2-2 on Darren Eels. Willis comes set, checks the runner at third, 2-2 pitch. Eels takes high, ball 3. Three and 2. Still nobody out here in the 7th for the Beavers. Three-two pitch. Popped up out of play by Eels. Three balls and 2 strikes. Here comes Willis set at the belt again, the pitch. High and inside, ball 4. Eels has a walk as an RBI in the first run of the game for the Beavers. It's going to be scored by Evan Rice. Moving on to third is Herforth. At second now is Blackwell. And we're going to looks like we're going to have a pitching change for the Vikings. We'll step away. Bottom of the seventh, the Vikings 8, the Resurgent Beavers 1.
Now back to the Phantom right here on Stones Radio Networks.
Left-hander Kai Cox is the new pitcher for West Valley. He started, as we said, on Friday, went 5 innings, gave up 4 hits and 2 earned runs. He's on here with 1 run in, nobody out, and Dominic Ott at the plate. Dominic is struck out, grounded out, and reached on an error, so he is over 3. Cox's first pitch is fouled off by Dominic Ott. Sailing fastball, 0-1 on Ott, the center fielder out of Wood Creek High. Kai Cox from Mountain View, 6-foot sophomore. The left-hander comes set. His pitch is inside. He gets away, and coming in at third and scoring is Dylan Herforth on the wild pitch. So 2 runs in now, and runners moving up to second and third. It is now 8-2 in favor of the Vikings. I promised Stones McCoy if we come back all the way and score 9 that he gets to be, we'll do a 2-man broadcast like, John Miller and Dave Fleming and those guys. Or, yeah, I probably won't. I'll probably renege on it. Ott chops one back to the pitcher. He looks at third, and he's going to go to first and get Ott by a step. The throw going to be coming in from first, and scoring is Julian Blackwell. So he waited for the throw to go and came in, and the throw to home was off. Ott is retired 1-3. Does get an RBI as Blackwell scores. Moving to third now is Eels, and it is 8-3 in favor of the Vikings. And remember, this is only the 7th inning. And here is number 35. Marcus Barbada is going to hit for Jonas Diaz. So Barbada comes in to hit for Diaz. Left-hander against left-hander, and that one is down low for a ball 1-0. 3 runs in, and 90 feet away is Darren Eels. Ott picking up his 4th run batted in on that ground out. As Blackwell very aggressive on the base pass. Here's the pitch. Check swing, and that's right down the middle for a strike. 1-1. So Cox, the fourth pitcher for the Vikings, Murchison, then Jagdeo, and then Willis and Cox. That's outside, 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Jake Morrell is slated next, and he is in the on-deck circle. That's hit high up in the air into left center field, and it is down. A base hit to left center field by the pinch hitter, and that's an RBI single for Marcus Bavada. Scoring is Eels. It is now 8-4 in favor of the Vikings. The third hit of the inning for the Beavers. Barbada comes through with a nice pinch hit. Good job, Coach Jay over there in the dugout, and Jake Morrell coming to the plate. 2 walks and a ground out for Jake. Barbada leads at first. Fastball is down low for a ball, 1-0. Willie Tatum to follow if the Beavers can keep something going. Just 1 out here in the inning. There's a ground ball out towards shortstop. McKee has it. He's going to bobble it, go across the diamond to first, and get him by a half a step. So Morrell is retired on a ground ball to shortstop. Moving to second is Bavada. And now Willie Tatum comes to the plate. 4 runs in for the Beavers, 3 hits, 1 runner still on at second base, and Tatum at the plate. Willie has he has singled, struck out, and flied to center. So he is 1 for 3, 2 for 9 on the season, and he's going to step out and go talk to the third base coach here. He's going to say, Willie, if you got a hit right now and drove in that run, that would be excellent. I don't know why I'm not a coach. You got advice like that. So don't you laughing like Stones, I played baseball. I know that's not good advice. I think it's really good advice. He might be. Now, Willie has already batted against Cox a couple of times on Friday, so he has seen Kyle Cox a couple of times. I believe he got himself a base hit as well on Friday. Yes, he did. So he is up here with 2 outs and a runner at second base. Inside, I don't know how it missed him. Nice little dance there to get out of the way. 1 ball and no strikes on Tatum. Christian Ristori on deck. Looking for a chance to get up here in this very productive 7th inning so far for the Beavers. They've scored 4 times and cut the lead in half. Tatum takes down low for a ball, 2-0. 6'3" sophomore out of Grant High, holding down first base for the Beavers. Cox comes set, checks the runner 2-0 pitch. Willie takes high and outside, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes, and it's dark enough here now that I can see the scoreboard, which is always a plus. But I always use Stones Radio Network's scoring devices. He's got so many of them in here. 3-0 pitch. Willie takes inside, ball 4. He'll check swing. 9th batter of the inning is Christian Ristori. He has grounded out, singled and struck out, so he is 1 for 3. Christian up here with 2 on and 2 out. 9th batter of the inning. 5 hits for the Beavers so far in this one. A couple errors committed by both teams, but by the Vikings. That pitch is right down the middle for a strike. Ristori, the freshman out of Whitney, playing in left field, has a wonderful diving catch he made out there earlier in the game. Chops that one foul. A little off-speed pitch down low from Cox. It's 0-2, quickly ahead in the count. Bavada at second. Willie Tatum over at first. 0-2 count on Christian Ristori. At outside corner, call strike 3. 4 runs, 3 hits, 2 left as we go to the 8th. It's the Vikings 8 and the Beavers 4.
I love lifting. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed a job. personally, on Jewelry Park without eating it. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, yes, not only people, foodies, and people eating it, they're expecting better quality, and then they can see it, notice it, they can see it. Oh, I love baking. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed a job. Personally, on Jewelry Park without eating it. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, yes, not only people, foodies, and people eating it, they're expecting better quality, and then people notice it, they can see it.
Now, back with the play-by-play right here on Stones Radio Networks.
Jake Morrell, the new pitcher for the Beavers, moving over from the DH position. I'm sorry, I just found out that my shirt has pockets in it, so I'm all excited. Stones?
Yeah, no, I want to let everybody set the scene. It's a beautiful day for baseball, but in the booth, it's probably 34 degrees.
Okay, well, it's 34 degrees out there for everybody else,
and
too.
you are dripping little, you have little icicles
I have
hanging
icicles on me, but usually older things tend to freeze up faster.
Very true, very true.
That's all you have to contribute.
So I just want to commend you for a wonderful job that you've done so far.
Thank you so much. I'm sure I knew that was what you were going to do when you started. All right, now go away. By the way, come back, because I did promise if they came all the way back, we could do a two-man booth. They came half the way back, so we do a one-man booth.
So
there you go. Okay,
goodbye.
So mathematically, that's the way you got to do it. Ryan Choi starts us off in the top of the eighth. He's followed by he'll be followed by Jacob Serpa, we assume, and then Tristan Silvera against Morrell. His first pitch is inside for a ball. Jake, the 6'4" freshman out of Whitney. Couple of appearances as the DH today. Now he's on the mound, and that pitch is swung on and missed. 1-1. One ball, one strike. Right-handed hitter, slightly open stance, Ryan Choi. Fastball outside for a ball, 2-1. Looking for that outside corner. Didn't get it. 2-1. Choi's walked, popped down, hit a sacrifice fly and singled. He takes that one on the outside corner. 2-2. 2 hits in the series for Ryan Choi. 2 for 10. Had that RBI in the fourth. He chops that one back out down the third baseline, and it's going to be foul. Fortunately for the Beavers, because if it was fair, they would have not gotten to it. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Choi. Jacob Serpa, who batted for Eric Murchison back in the 6th, he will be next. And then Tristan Silvera, the first baseman. 5, 6, and 7 spots in the order for the Vikings here on the top of the 8th. 8-4, West Valley leads it. That's chopped out towards shortstop. Eels waits for the hop. He has it. Across the diamond, and he got him by a step. Good play there. And Eels, 6'3", Choi is retired. And that will bring up Jacob Serpa, the 5'8" sophomore out of Washington High School. Came on in the 6th for Murchison, grounded out to second base. So he is 0 for 1. Murchison, while he was in there, was 1 for 2 with a run scored. Right-hand hitting Serpa against the left-hander Jake Morrell. Hits a little looper over shortstop, going back and reaching up. His Eels couldn't get it. It's a single for Serpa. So Serpa loops one over Eels' head in short left center field, gets a base hit.
3, first baseman Tristan Silvera.
That'll bring up Tristan Silvera, who was walked, singled, struck out, and hit by a pitch. So he is 1 for 2, has scored 2 runs. We're going to have a pinch runner for Serpa over at first base. Number 6, that is Eli Martinez. So Martinez takes over for Serpa at first base. He is the pinch runner, and here is Silvera. Going over to first base is Morrell. One out, one on here. 10 hits now for the Vikings. Morrell's fastball sails high and outside, 1-0. Herfer still behind the plate. Willie Tatum at first, Blackwell at second. He owes it short. Anthony Packard, who was pitched for, we'll check and see who that new third baseman is. Ristorian left, out in center, and out and right, Marcus Babada. Throw over to first base, he is back. So Evan Rice came in and did the pinch hitting, and he is taken over at third base. Got himself a single, started off that 4-run rally for the Beavers. Going over to first base again is Morrell, and the tag is slapped on the pinch runner, Eli Martinez, but not in time for an out. To the plate, Morrell, that sails high and outside again, so that is 2-0 on Silvera. Throw down to first base, not in time. Ryan Fernandez on deck for West Valley. He came on for Andre Butler back in the 6th. Check swing, did not go, ball 3. Three balls and no strikes. We're in the top of the 8th inning here. West Valley leads at 8-4. Beavers came up with 4 in the bottom of the 7th to tighten things up. 3-0 pitch. Shows bunt, takes high and outside, ball 4. So Martinez goes down to second base. Silvera's on at first. He's reached 4 times today, and here is Ryan Fernandez.
Can you guys see his number? Batter? 22.
So Ryan Fernandez at the plate. Left-hander against left-hander. High for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes on Fernandez. Weston Scafoni on deck. Morrell checks second base. Comes to the plate, 1-0. Breaking ball outside, 2-0. Tyler Moore started for the Beavers, then Balky, Lucero, Heinkel, and now Jake Morrell. Two balls, no strikes. Fernandez waits. That one's right down the middle for a strike. Ryan, a 5'10" freshman out of Aragon High School. You know, we broadcast these games, as Stones has told me many times, for family, fans, and friends. But I know there's people out there that are watching these games to get intel on teams, you know, scouts and stuff, and, you know, maybe scouts in the sense of trying to get these players to the next level. You know, that's fantastic. One such gentleman is a guy named Brock Raggins, who has done some work with the Potters and the Gold Sox in the Summer League, and also works for William Jessup. And, you know, he's out there now. He loves the sound of my voice, which is why he's watching. That is chopped into left field. That's going to get down in front of Ristori for a base hit. Runners rounding third. He's going to score easily. Ristori picks it up, and moving on to third is Silvera. It's an RBI single for Fernandez, and it's 9-3 or 9-4 in favor of West Valley. So Martinez scores, and going all the way over to third is Silvera. Moving to second is Fernandez, and that'll bring up Weston Scafoni. Anyway, shout out to Brock Raggins checking us out today on the American River College YouTube.
Number 2, second baseman Weston Scafoni.
Also, I like to do this most of the time, every time I broadcast is, you know, Trevor Payne, what's up? You know? Timeout is called. Is going down to talk to the coaches, Weston Scafoni. Actually, we've got a whole convocation over there of Vikings. Everybody's moving over there. I got 5 people in that talk. Come on. It takes one guy. Come on. So Fernandez drops the RBI single down the left field line. Makes it to second. Over to third is Silvera. Scoring is Martinez. It's 9-4. Still 1 out here in the 8th inning. And Scafoni coming to the plate. He's walked, single, grounded out, and struck out. So we're finally ready. For some reason, we've had that, kind of a team meeting, kind of a small team meeting out there. So this is the times I wish I had Trevor Payne with me, because he would know what was going on right now. Infield in for the Beavers. The first pitch is high and outside to Scafoni. 1-0. Scafoni scored once today. That's his 4th run scored in the series. Right-handed hitting second baseman, batting in the number 9 spot. Andrew Wilford, the top of the order, on deck. Breaking ball, nice shot. Right in there for a strike. One ball, one strike, infield in for the Beavers. 9-4, top of the 8th, 1 out. Another breaking ball swung on a miss. Another beautiful-looking pitch by Jake Morrell. The freshman making his debut here. 6'4" out of Whitney High. The Wildcats. Nice pull right there. Swing and a miss. Got him on strikes. Fouled it into the catcher's glove. Hereford holds on. Big strikeout for Jake Morrell. 2 outs, and here's the top of the order in Andrew Wilford. He's walked, struck out, walked. Reached on an error and flied to center. So 0 for 3 so far today. Couple stolen bases for Wilford. Second and third. Now 2 outs, though. And that one's fouled down the right field line by Wilford. And the umpire says, I could use a couple more baseballs over there. Oh, there goes Coach Jay out to his car. Going down a big 5. 0-1. Ryan McKee on deck. Oh, I said Ryan. I know that's wrong. It's Dylan. I knew it was Dylan. That's a good question, Stones. The problem is now that I've said it, I have no idea which one's right. Dylan McKee on deck. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball just misses that outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Wilford from Pioneer High School, 6-foot freshman, playing center field. Pitch on the way, swung on and missed. Off speed. Morrell using the off speed very effectively in the last couple of hitters. He is ahead in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runners lead off second and third, Silvera and Fernandez. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball is hit to the right of shortstop. Eels knocks it down, gets up, throws it across the diamond, scooped up by Willie Tatum. What a play by Eels and Tatum to shut down the Vikings. 1 run, 2 hits, and 2 left at the end of 7.5. It's West Valley 9, American River 4.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student-athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers. American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student-athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers. American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student-athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
Now back to the action right here on Stones Radio Networks.
Mitchell Nagel is the new pitcher out of Live Oak High School, the 6'2" sophomore, the 5th pitcher of the day for the Vikings. They start off with Murchison, then Jagdeo, Willis, Cox, and now Nagel against the Beavers. 9-4, West Valley leads it. We're in the bottom of the 8th. It'll be Evan Rice, then Dylan Herforth, and Julian Blackwell, 8, 9, and 1. Rice came on as a pinch hitter to start the bottom of the 7th and precipitated a 4-run rally with a solid single to left field, so he is 1 for 1. Evan is out of Wood Creek High, a 6'3" freshman.
For the Beavers, number 23, Evan Rice.
He will be the first guy to face Mitchell Nagel. First pitch is chopped out toward third base. Lourdier comes on, picks it up. He's going to have to hurry, throw it to first, and it gets past the first baseman. And it's going to be, we'll check with our score. I think that's going to be an infield single for Evan Rice. Tough play by Lourdier. So Rice, his second straight single. 6th hit for the Beavers. Very tough play by Lourdier on that one. Had to make the throw on the run. And trying to be scooped over first by Silvera, but he couldn't do so. So that'll bring up Dylan Herforth. Catcher is struck out, reached on an error and walked. Nagel's pitches, fastball outside for a ball, 1-0. So Rice trying to start it again. He's hit 2 for 2 so far today for the Beavers. Nagel delivers to the plate. Herforth hits it right up the middle. Shortstop McKee over to second for 1, over to first, and it's thrown. It's going to pull the first baseman off the bag. So it's a fielder's choice for Herforth. Retired at second is Rice, and Dylan will be on at first on the fielder's choice. It'll bring up Julian Blackwell. Julian has grounded to short, struck out twice, and then had a little bunt single back in the 7th. Later scored. It was kind of a bunt, kind of a poke. Kind of just dropped it in front of the shortstop in a first and second situation to load the bases. So he is up here now for his 5th time today. Nagel's breaking ball is in there for a strike. A nice slider by Mitchell Nagel. 0-1 on Blackwell. Darren Eels to follow. Just made an excellent play out in the field. Blackwell takes another breaking ball. That's in there for a strike, 0-2. 2 good-looking pitches from Mitchell Nagel to get him ahead in the count against Blackwell here. Herforth leads at first. Here's the pitch. Blackwell chops at it. I think he held on to it, so Singh holds on to it for strike 3. Couldn't tell if he had initially, but the out is recorded. And here's Darren Eels, who has been hit by a pitch, walked, flied to right, and walked. Scored a run, drove in a run with the walk in the 7th. 2 outs, runner at first. Eels takes outside with a fastball. Dominic Ott to follow. 9-4 Vikings. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Good command of the breaking ball by Nagel here. 1 ball, 1 strike. Herforth leads over at first. 1-1 pitch is lifted out into short right field, coming on, and that's going to drop in front of the right fielder for a base hit. They throw it behind the runner at second, and he is back in. Nice job by Herforth to get back in there. Eels with a single, though. Going to second is Herforth, so it's first and second and 2 outs, and here's Dominic Ott. Ott is struck out, grounded to third, reached on an air, and grounded out and got himself an RBI back in the 7th, so he is 0 for 4. 1 RBI. He has 4 on the season, and he's up here with runners at first and second and 2 outs. Nice piece of hitting by Darren Eels, dropping that in right field in front of Fernandez. Dominic takes high with a fastball. Marcus Babada is on deck. He's singled back in the 7th as a pinch hitter. Sophomore center fielder Dominic on out of Wood Creek, 1-0. Breaking ball's hit line to left field. That is down for a base hit. Actually, it stayed up. My bad. I saw the guy waving him around. It stays up on the line drive for the third out. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 left at the end of 8. It is West Valley 9 and AR 4.
Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kind of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at Super Taco. We love to see you. Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kind of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at Super Taco. We love to see you. Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kind of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at Super Taco. We love to see you.
Now back to the Phantom right here on Stones Radio Networks.
As the great Stones McCoy told me during the between innings, you have to report what actually happens, not what you want to happen. Even with all your heart, if you want it to be a base hit, you have to actually say the right thing, which is the ball was caught by the left fielder, Ryan Choi. Okay, so Ott is retired, and we go to the top of the 9th. Jake Morrell still out on the mound for the Beavers. He will face Dylan McKee and then Ryan Lourdier and Matt Singh, 2, 3, and 4 in the lineup for West Valley. First one is fouled out of play. McKee has had 1 at bat today, back in the 7th, lined a base hit and later stole a base, but was stranded at 3rd. So he is 1 for 1. 5'8" sophomore out of Smoky Hill High School, Dylan McKee. That one's in the dirt for a ball. 1-1. The fact that they're wearing the Astros colors hasn't hurt them so far today. It did hurt Stones' feelings, big Giants fan. Of course, they have largely the same colors. They don't wear them the same way, though. No. No, they don't wear them. That's right, they don't wear them the same way. 1-1 on McKee. Shows butt, pulls it back. It's inside and low, 2-1. That woman has the right idea. She has a parka on, sweatshirt, and she brought 7 blankets from her house. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. I wanted him to go, but I didn't want to say yes because I didn't want to do it like I did on the fly ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I think the umpire at first just goes, I'm kind of cold. 2-2 pitch coming up. That's in the dirt, ball 3. Full count on Dylan McKee. Ryan Lourdier to follow, and then Matt Singh. 3-2 from Morrell. That is high, ball 4. So McKee's on for the 2nd straight time, and here is Ryan Lourdier. Hit into a fielder's choice, then hit into a double play. Was hit by a pitch, singled, and walked.
For 17, third baseman Ryan Lourdier.
So 1 for 3. He's got himself a run batted in. The third baseman. Oh, there goes the runner. The pickoff. Tatum's going to have to gun it to second. Did they get the tag down in time? No, they did not. The stolen base by McKee. He took off at first movement. The throw over to Willie Tatum was a little bit high. Willie had to go up to get it, and then his throw to second base, not quite in time. He almost put the tag on a little bit too late, and McKee steals second base. So Lourdes now with the runner in scoring position. That ball is high with a fastball. One ball, no strikes. Morrell delivers. It is down low. 2-0. Have to be careful every time someone on the mound moves around because we don't know if they're going to be assessed a penalty of some kind like we have earlier today. Again, Stones is pouring through the record books or rule books to try to figure out what's going on. Fastball inside. Three balls, no strikes. Strike, 3-1. Ryan Ocharchin warming up in the pen for the Vikings, another Canadian product. That one is high, ball 4. So Lourdes gets the base on balls. First and second, nobody out here in the 9th. And we're going to have a meeting at the mound, and we'll take a little break. So in the top of the 9th score, the Vikings 9 and the Beavers 4.
Shall we begin?
Safety first.
I think we're ready to rock.
Now, back with the play-by-play right here on Stones Radio Networks.
Meeting is over at the mound, and here is Matthew Singh with 2 runners on, nobody out. Singh showed bunt there, but Morrell reacted to the runner at second base. Nobody covering for the pickoff attempt. So we'll go back at it. Slate is clean still. Singh came on into a double play in the 7th inning. Now, a violation has been called. I heard that one. A violation, so it is ball 1. That was clearly stated by the umpire. So here's the 1-0. Shows bunt, breaking ball, bunts at it, doesn't make any contact, so it's 1-1. Now I just have to figure out what the violation actually is. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Shows bunt again, and did he bunt at it again? I thought he did, but he pulled it back, and it's down low, 2-1. Now, okay, so it is 2-1. Top of the 9th, 2 on, nobody out, 2-1 pitch. That sails high, ball 3. So Singh not really having a chance to offer it the last 2. It's 3 balls and 1 strike on Matthew Singh. Comes set. Here's the 3-1. He bunts it that one right back to the pitcher, picked up by Morrell. He's going to go to first base, and Tatum stays on the bag, and he has him. It's a sacrifice for Matt Singh. Moves the runners to second and third. Brings up Ryan Choi.
Number 21, left fielder Ryan Choi.
Walk popped out, sacrifice fly, single, and ground out. So 1 for 3 for Choi and an RBI today. He's got runners at second and third now with 1 out in the 9th. His team is up 9-4. Eli Martinez on deck. Here's the pitch. That's chopped out towards second. Backhanded by Blackwell. Nice play. He's got two guys. He runs a runner down. A beautiful play by Julian Blackwell. He got the runner at second, Lordier, who was going over to third. The runner to third did not go. McKee stayed, and so Blackwell just ran over and tagged him out. So nice play by Blackwell. A fielder's choice for Choi. He's over at first base. Now first and third. I haven't seen that play. I don't think I've seen a grounder to second with runners at second and third, and the second baseman runs over and tags a guy out at third. I have not seen that before, but it was an excellent play by Julian Blackwell, and just what they needed if you're a Beavers fan. And here is Eli Martinez. He actually is a pinch runner back in the 8th inning for Serpa. So this is Eli's first appearance at the plate. He did score a run in that pinch running appearance. Fastball's inside. 1-0 on Eli Martinez. Eli, a freshman from Valley Christian High School down in San Jose, listed at 5'10". Coming up from Morrell. Down in the dirt. Nice block by Herforth, but the runner at first is going to go down to second base. That is Ryan Choi. So second and third, 2 outs. A 2-0 count on Eli Martinez. Tristan Silvera, the first baseman, to follow. Jake Morrell, the 5th pitcher for the Beavers here today. Moore, Balke, Lucero, Hunkel, and now Jake Morrell. That is taken inside for a ball. 3 balls and no strikes on Martinez. Morrell, the freshman left-hander. Out of Whitney High. Listed at 6'4". Has the 3-0 pitch coming in. Sails high and outside, ball 4. So the walk is issued to Martinez. And that brings up Tristan Silvera, the first baseman. He has walked, singled, struck out, been hit by a pitch, and walked again. So 1 for 2. He scored a couple of runs. 3 for 9 in the series. Inside, gets away from Herforth, but he runs it down before a runner can advance. Morrell comes off the mound to cover home if needed. 1 ball, no strikes on Silvera. Ryan Fernandez to follow. If Silvera can keep the inning going for the Vikings. Haven't scored a run yet, but the bases are loaded here. Breaking ball in there, call strike. 1-1 on Silvera. Good pitch from Jake Morrell. Everybody working out the kinks here early in the season. It's not even February, people. And believe me, I know about it up here. It's not even February. 1-1 pitch. Fouled back off an off-speed pitch. 1-2 on Tristan Silvera. Sophomore out of Mountain View High School. I'm assuming that is in Mountain View, California. I know you shouldn't assume things, Stones, but sometimes you just got to take that extra leap of faith, okay? 1-2 pitch coming up. Sails high and outside the fastball. 2-2. Evan Rice at third. Darren Eels at short. Julian Blackwell at second. And Willie Tatum over at first. Dylan Herforth is behind the plate. 2-2 pitch coming up. In the dirt, kicks away, and here comes the run in from third, and he will score. So McKee scores the 10th run of the game for the Vikings. Martinez moves up to second. Over to third now is Ryan Choi. Still no hits in this inning for the Vikings. Full count now on Silvera. Takes ball 4 down low. Fourth walk of the inning for the Beaver pitchers. And here is Fernandez. That walk loading the bases. And here comes Fernandez, who came on for Butler. Back in the sixth, he has a ground out and an RBI single. That fastball's in there for a strike, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Fouls that one back to the screen. So quickly 0-2 on Ryan Fernandez. Left-hander against left-hander, Jake Morrell, Ryan Fernandez. Bases are loaded. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. 1 run, no hits, 3 left at the end of 8.5. It's the Vikings 10 and the Beavers 4.
I love dating. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Red was started because I needed a job. Personally, it was the most rewarding part about eating. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, yes, not only people, foodies, and people eating, they're expecting better quality. People notice it, they can see it. I love dating. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Red was started because I needed a job. Personally, it was the most rewarding part about eating. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, yes, not only people, foodies, and people eating, they're expecting better quality, and then people notice it, they can see it.
Now back to the action right here on Stones Radio Networks.
Bottom of the 9th inning, Nagel still on the mound. That is Mitchell Nagel, of course. My bad. I wanted to call him Ryan Nagel. I want to call everybody Ryan all of a sudden. I don't even know if I like that name, and I want to call everybody Ryan. I do like, there's a couple of Ryans I do like. I'm not going to say that. Here we go, bottom of the 9th. Marcus Babada starts us off, then Jake Morrell, the DH turn pitcher, and then Willie Tatum, 4, 5, and 6 for the Beavers. They trail it 10-4. Swing and a miss. Babada came on in the 7th as a pinch hitter. Had himself a base hit. Takes that one in there for a strike as well. Oh and 2. Takes that one, calls strike 3. One out here. Jake Morrell comes to the plate. He's walked twice and grounded out twice.
Designated hitter Jake Morrell.
Designated hitter, turn pitcher, Jake Morrell. That one's outside for a ball. The fastball from Mitchell Nagel. Willie Tatum on deck for the Beavers. 1-0 count on to Jake Morrell. He fouls that one back to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. Nagel in the windup. Fastball, inside corner, call strike 2. 1 and 2 on Jake Morrell. That one's hit sharply back up the middle into center field for a base hit. So Morrell comes through with a single up the middle. That is hit number 7 for the Beavers. And Morrell at first base, and will bring up Willie Tatum.
First baseman Willie Tatum.
Jake's first hit of the season. He is now 1 for 6. Right back up the middle. And here's Willie Tatum. He's singled, struck out, flied to center, and walked. So he is 1 for 3 today. He's facing Nagel, who throws a slider outside for a ball, 1-0. Christian Ristori to follow. That is down low for a ball, and there goes Morel as the ball gets past the catcher and back to the backstop. And the trick of the lighting here at Beaver Field right now, it seems like home plate is in like a spotlight. It does seem like a spotlight. It's spotlighted so that I can see it. They've done that this year as there's a new spotlight up there that goes right at home plate because they knew that I needed it. I like that. That's taking care of people right there. There's the throw back to second. The ball gets into center field, but Morel is going to just stay put. I kind of like it. It's like there's a performer on stage. They got everybody's out there, but they got that spotlight right on home plate. And right now in the spotlight, Willie Tatum with a 2-ball, no strike count. Morel now out at second base, 10-4 in favor of West Valley. That's outside, ball 3. Four runs in the seventh is how the American River got to 4. 3 runs in the second, 3 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, 1 in the eighth, 1 in the ninth for the Vikings. 3-0 coming to Willie Tatum. Check swing, didn't go. Ball 4. Second straight walk for Willie. He's on at first base. At second is Jake Morel, and here's Christian Ristori, who has grounded out, singled, and struck out twice, so he is 1 for 4. The freshman out of Whitney High.
15, left fielder Christian Ristori.
Evan Rice to follow. He chops that one down to third. Lodier goes up and gets it, steps on third, throws over to first. It's not going to be in time. And Morel is retired on the force at third. It's the fielder's choice for Ristori. He's on at first base. At second is Willie Tatum. 2 outs, and here's Evan Rice, who's been up twice and got 2 hits. Came on as a pinch hitter back in the 7th, started off the rally with a single, and then singled again back in the 8th. That's an infield single, so he is 2 for 2. So it's McCoy, a math major, says if we get a home run, it'll be 10-7, which is really helpful. That's a breaking ball in there for a strike. That's part of why we keep him around. I mean, it's a pretty strong argument to keep him around. I mean, you don't get that kind of analysis everywhere. 0-1 on Evan. Check swing, good job, it's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rice out of Wood Creek, a freshman. Came on for Anthony Packer back in the 7th, took over third base. 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss on a fastball, 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes. That's hit down the line in right field. That's going to drop for a base hit. 1 run will score. Here comes the second one around to third, but they're going to throw it back behind him first. So Evan Rice comes up 3 for 3 and drives in a run. It's now 10-5 in favor of the Vikings. And Dylan Herford's coming to the plate. So Tatum scores. Second hit of the inning for the Beavers. Makes them with 9 hits for the game. And now we're going to have another pinch hitter, I think. Looks like number 19, maybe Ryland Druck. So Ryland Druck, the freshman out of Roseville. So Druck is batting for Herforth here. Swings and misses at the first one from Nagel. Ristori is over at third. Rice, after the RBI single, is at first. 10-5 now. And Druck, the pinch hitter, at the plate, 0-1. That's outside for a ball. Stones has not chimed in with what would happen if he hits a home run. What would the score be? But he probably figures I couldn't handle that kind of advanced mathematics anyway. Druck waiting for the 1-1. I had a breaking ball right in there for a strike. 1-2 on Ryland Druck. 1-2 pitch. Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did, and that is your ball game. Druck is out on strikes. 1 run, 2 hits, and 2 left in the ninth. Final score, West Valley wins this one 10-5 over AR. AR come out with 4 runs in the 7th and 1 in the ninth. Not enough as they drop this one 10-5. A reminder, next time we are in action is going to be Thursday, 2 p.m. We will be right here as the Shasta College Knights come to town to take on the American River College Beavers. So we will be here. Subscribe and watch us on American River College YouTube, American River College Athletics on YouTube. A reminder also, go to arcbeavers.com to get all the information on that craft beat coming up on February 18th. For Stones McCoy and myself, we say thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you next time on the Stones Radio Networks.
Get up!